Searching for music for your next video? Then you need to check out our list.
Looking for the best music for your videos? Then you should check out our list. Ladies and gentlemen.
In music, you're basically having a conversation. It's a question.
H is here. From our homes to yours, as your collaborators, creative partners, and problem solvers.
What type of photography do you do?
It's actually a very good choice.
I've got a great mic that'll work perfect for that.
As always, we're here to help with all your plans, projects, inklings, and endeavors. With 47 years of creative expertise.
Oh, cool. You're setting up a live stream DJ set? Okay, I can help you with that.
So click.
Hello, welcome back to the EGL Circuit. I am FN Superthig, also known as Tommy.
And I am FN Burn Victim, also known as Michael. So we are in week 9 now of the circuit, coming back from the FN versus PTC game last week. So I think in the scrims, PTC apparently did really well against EGL a couple days ago. So this will be a really intense match, considering that both these teams are like really in practice and such.
Yeah, THE has been playing really well recently, ever since the second split started. I'm really looking forward to this match. I think it'll be really good, really close.
Yeah, and unfortunately Corey can't be with us, but maybe we'll see some Syndicate gameplay this week.
I did tell Alex to look for a game, maybe to pull it out. So who knows?
Otherwise, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see how both teams, that they both seem like pretty evenly matched. Like even THE, they scrimmed against I believe it was IPT like this weekend, put a game off them, so that was pretty great, crazy.
Yeah, THE has pushed FN the farthest, I would say.
Yeah,
but
100%.
Last week I would say PTC still played really well, and it could really go either way this week.
Yeah, especially that second game. Like PTC was like had a really dominant early game, and it was really nice to see Mega Man Mega Man and me, like we were both like pushing our like mid lane pools, and like Mega Man's pool is extremely deep.
Yeah.
So like maybe we might see something that he's like done before, whether it's like Oriana or even like the Kog'Maw like that we saw last week. But honestly, like we never know with Mega Man. He has such a deep champion pool that he could play anything in the series.
Yeah, I expect PTC to hopefully play around the mid lane, get Brett roaming. I feel like he hasn't roamed as much as he used to.
Yeah.
And if he really gets on the roam, I feel like they could really push THE this week. I expect THE to probably play through topside again, try and get Alex snowballing. He looked really good on the game plank.
Oh yeah, he was up a lot of farm against Barasan when he played the Gangplank. So yeah, I don't know like exactly how the scrims are going, whether Alex will be more on that carry style like the Gangplank. I know he's been practicing other stuff, or whether it's like Mordekaiser, Camille and stuff, or if he's just gonna be playing Orin Duty all day. So
I mean, he does play a really good weak side with a tank. He can control the wave, put it in a safe spot, and he'll farm up.
Yeah, he soaks up a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was also really interesting with both of these teams to see how they played on the neutral objectives, because Fire Nation has done like really good at like getting like the dragons and the heralds, and then we saw with the THE game week 7 how they threw Storyteller like up to the herald and get that herald pressure right away.
Yeah.
And then same with PTC, they recognized like dragon was important, so they made sure that they had Megan Foxy coming down to the dragon.
Yeah, it seems like more teams are focusing on the objectives more often and actually contesting. So that's always good.
So
what do you expect to see for bans?
I wonder if they're gonna be targeting Petuantano. He has only granted he has only played one match as mid lane this season, or this split so far, and he played Lux both times and he looked really good on it. And when we faced them, we banned Nico against them. So maybe PTC will see what else Padawan can play and try to stretch that champion pool over.
Yeah, I expect THE. I assume Aphelios will be banned every game.
Yeah, Deadpool looked extremely strong on that.
I think Set is going to make an appearance every game as well, whether that is Alex picking it early to take it away from PTC, or if it's PTC, or if they're just going to ban it and try and get Alex a counter pick.
Yeah, it's still extremely strong and extremely flexible. Like, we've seen Jig and Jag play it in the jungle. We've seen Alex play it top, but realistically, it could go in like multiple lanes on both teams. So, the threat of that flex is always extremely scary.
I'm also looking to see what Solo Mason wants to play this week. He's been kind of more on the tank duty recently, but I would love to see a Kindred or a Kha'Zix come out here.
Yeah, we've seen Kha'Zix come out in pro play, whether it's in LEC or something like the Asian regions, and I know Solo Mason really likes that champion. Other thing to note is we are in 10.15, but Lilia will be banned this week. Not 100% sure if it'll be banned next week as well, or if it'll be legal next week.
I think they said we can play him next week, but for sure not this week.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think this bot lane will be like a very big like focus for both of these teams, especially if we're getting like pressure down there and trying to get the dragons. It's kind of been like, even though like Mega Man Zero is like the big name player on that team, he's been very good at like influencing side lanes and especially influencing bottom lane. PTC likes to play on the bottom lane, and so does THE. So we'll see. Maybe the bans and the picks will revolve around that if they want to get like early pressure. I know like Ashe has been like really gaining popularity, so maybe there'll be priority on that if something like Aphelios or Ezreal is banned.
Yeah. What do you think about the supports? Are they going to be playing the aggressive go-in supports? Or we've seen the Lulu come out. We've seen some Bard.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Like Nautilus has been like very popular like for like both these supports, but they're not like as like frontlining as like they could be, and they definitely like are playing like Nautilus like still, but just trying to like save the like AD carry. So yeah, we'll see. I really just want to put like the supports on like something that I'm very comfortable on. Like I know Storyteller like has gotten his Morgana band on him like every single time. So we'll see if that's a value band for
It'd be interesting to see if that comes through. If that does come through, I don't imagine Nautilus will be picked.
Yeah, it's not the best matchup for Nautilus.
Yeah, it's not what you want. We'll just say that.
Yeah, especially like I also really hope that like the teams like find like their own style. Like we used to see it at like Worlds where like teams like don't do what's meta and they do like what they like really like for their style. Definitely don't like pick stuff just because you think it's good. Like if you're not practiced on it, then like don't go for it and like do what like has been like winning you guys' games. Like for example, like if Aphelios wasn't as strong, but it's still Deadpool Gambit's like best AD carry, he's been extremely strong on it, then like pick that up first rotation if it's up there.
Like. I think we see that THE is going to be having red side this game.
Okay. So trying to get the counter pick for either Padawan Tano or Alex in the top lane, probably. That's kind of been like what people have been doing. You in the first 3 picks, like a lot of people will pick bot lane and then the jungler.
Yep.
And then whatever that team favors more on like red side, then getting the counter pick, getting like a safe blind pick, whether it's like the Ornn or if it's like
Orianna.
Orianna
Azir, like something that you know will stay safe in the lane. So what do you think they're going to prioritize for the mid lane for Brett this week? Do you think he's going to be playing Kog'Maw again?
I feel like if they do, which they definitely could, it'll just have to be realizing like what doesn't do well into Kog'Maw, like because we always joke around like the Kog has no counters.
Yeah.
And even though I'm a firm believer of like Kog'Maw doesn't have very like mid lane counters, what really counters Kog'Maw is the jungler, just getting the jungler very involved in the mid lane. So what we have seen like other teams do is they will pick Kog'Maw and they flex it between mid and bottom, and it causes a lot of interesting stuff to happen in the draft. So if PTC can do that, then that can be extremely oppressive, and maybe THE wants to ban it.
I do know Big Lots is playing a lot of Lulu.
Yeah.
I mean, he played it with the Ashe. Definitely a good champion to play with the Kog'Maw as
with
well
Kog'Maw.
In the bot lane. So who knows? Maybe they have been practicing that. It's
Yeah.
definitely a very oppressive lane that can win you a lot of matchups.
Yeah, yeah. And with a lot of these, like, if you, like, try to not get, like, something that is necessarily, like broken in the bot lane, but, like, if you get, like, a winning bot lane matchup, like, no matter what, that can definitely be really strong for that team.
Do you think THE is going to ban Set, or are they going to let PTC have it?
I think it all depends on, like, the research and if, like, Megan Foxy has been playing it, because Set is really only oppressive in my mind if he is a flex. If THA doesn't think that Set's a flex, then they can let it go if they think, like, something else is, like, really strong. Like, Mega Man Zero has been playing a lot of Twisted Fate, and, like, Twisted Fate has been, like, very popular, and being able to roam as easily as Twisted Fate does makes it extremely difficult, and that's why Fire Nation banned it both times.
So you think a TF ban's coming out first round?
I would think so from THE. If you look at if THE believes that Set is only going in the jungle and it wouldn't go, like, support or top, then you could probably find, like, a higher value ban. Otherwise, if they do believe that, like, Megan Foxy can play it or Big Lots can play it, then yeah, definitely it's not worth having, because it's already a strong champion, and now it's a strong champion in many lanes.
I expect. Do you expect any bans towards Alex? Do you think that? I assume an Ornn ban's coming through.
I would think Ornn ban for sure. Like, Ornn is already like a really strong champion. Being able to buy items for your team, like, you look at the gold graph, and if they're only up like 1,000 gold, well, you have all those Ornn items giving them, like, upgraded stats. Otherwise, Alex is kind of like Mega Man. Like, the champion pool is, like, so deep, you can't ban out all of Alex's champions. He'll find something that he's comfortable on. So
It's just I know it's one of his most played. It's definitely a really good comfort pick. And
100%. Yeah, he's played a lot of it this season. I would think that jungle would get, like, a lot of attention in the bans.
I
So-
expect a Jarvan ban to come through.
Yeah.
Probably from THE's side.
Oh, from THE side? I feel like it would come from PTC side. Like, Solo Mason has really preferred the Jarvan in a lot of scenarios. And when you pick the Jarvan, like, you feel kind of trapped to either play, like, Thresh or play, like, mobility champions, whether it's, like, Ezreal Lucian or, like, Azir Corki. So that, like, you're not just trapped in the Cataclysm. So, but I don't know, if Jig and Jag, like, can play it, then yeah, all for him. And Jarvan is a very strong jungler right now.
I think we should be hopping into Champ Select pretty soon. Yeah. I think it's going to be a really good game this week. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited.
Can't wait.
I'm definitely anticipating, like, a 3-game series. Both these teams have been on the uprise recently, and like, the scrim results have showed it. Their performances in, like, both the Fire Nation games have definitely showed it. Like, these guys are both, like, very strong and very evenly matched. So hopefully both teams can just play to each other's strengths, and yeah, just stick to your game plan. Because as long as, like, you have like a decent draft that you like, you recognize the strengths with it and try to play towards that, then you should be good, as long as you're not, like, messing anything up.
Here we are heading into the draft. Let's see what we got. I expect a Jarvan ban from PTC. We'll see what we get. But it does look like they're going to be targeting Padawan in mid lane right off the bat with the Lux.
Yeah, that Fire Nation game, he did most damage, even the first game, even though they lost. Another mid lane ban, that's crazy. We expected the Fire Nation.
Yep. No one's shocking. There's the set. Let's
Yeah.
see. I expected J4 here, but Maybe
I mean,
they'll do Orin.
maybe
I
they'll
think it's
do-
between those two. Caitlyn.
Oh, Caitlyn.
Okay. Banning
That's valid.
Hammy's best champion.
And Azir's a huge Mega Man champion. He has so much mobility, so much damage in the late game.
Senna. Now, I haven't seen them. I haven't seen any Senna played yet.
Yeah, this is really interesting. You can play Senna, like Deadpool Gambit can maybe play it. Big Lots can maybe play it. So it is also like flexible. We got an Ashe hover, and I think Ashe is like an extremely strong AD carry.
Definitely,
He's up
I
there
would
with Ezreal.
top 380 carry.
100%. Like Ashe, Aphelios,
And Ezreal.
and Ezreal. Like Kallista's like technically up there too, but like nobody in the circuit has pulled it out yet. So it's kind of a question mark on like, is anyone confident enough to play it? But yeah,
Now, what do you think they're going to match with the Senna here? Are they going to Are they going to do farming Senna or
like
fasting Senna, where you get the like a tanky support that farms everything for you?
I think the Senna is going to go AD with the support. I think it's extremely difficult to execute farming Senna without getting really punished, especially with Karma. Technically, Karma is a flex pick, but it could go to Storyteller and just like bully that bottom lane. And so now we see, so Nautilus, so definitely going to be AD carry Senna. I guess it could still be fasting, but it'll be Deadpool Gambit playing it and not like something like Wukong, like something that they've been playing in
And
like LCS.
There's the Jarvan that I expected to be picked really soon. I did think that I do tend to see Jig and Jay going for the Jarvan or the set mostly, so I assumed maybe they would try and take that away from him, but it looks like Cody's gonna want a counter pick here.
They pick anything, and now they have Tarek, so they are flexing the Karma mid, I would think, and maybe that was just a mispick. Noah is disconnecting.
Yeah, so it looks like one of their characters disconnected during the draft.
Okay.
And
I would assume that everything is fine.
the pick was supposed to be Graves.
Okay.
All right, so we know the first half of the draft, and we got Cody picking the Graves to counter the Jarvan. It's I think it's a very good matchup for the Graves. You can dodge the
EQ combo.
EQ with your E, and
Yeah, I wonder if he'll be going like the Ignite Graves that you could see in solo queue with like the Phase Rush. People have been thinking that Flash isn't that like necessary on Grave Jungle. So it's kind of like a hack room where you just want to like get in really close and brawl so that you like land more of like the auto attacks off in the cone.
yeah, I haven't seen Solo Mason's Graves at all. I think of him more as a Kindred player. I feel like most people play one or the other, but I'm sure it's good, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, it's definitely been really powerful in pro play and in solo queue. So I think it would probably beat the J4 early, because like J4 is like strong early, but when it comes to like bruisers or like things like Olaf and like Graves, like especially for like Olaf would win that. In terms of Graves, I would assume it's similar playstyle, and like you could like bully out the Jarvan early. Maybe if you get like winning side lanes and like run into that enemy jungler.
Yeah, being able to just dodge the initial knockup and the damage from that also really swings the damage, like the fight.
Yeah.
Graves will also be power farming a lot faster than Jarvan. Will hit his item before, and so he's just gonna have the early advantage in a 1v1. But in a late game team fight, the crowd control that Jarvan could put down, especially on an Ashe, where she's not going to be able to get out of the Cataclysm, could really turn a fight.
Yeah, and even though they locked in the Karma, it is still a question mark since it's the Graves pick and not the Tark that you saw. Like, is that Karma going bot lane to bully out the Nautilus and the Senna, or it could go mid, and you could pick like Thresh for more safety. So it just depends.
I know. I'm not gonna lie. I was excited for the Tarek pick. I remember I picked it. I think week 1 or 2.
Yeah, and it was very strong. Like it does very well into.
It will do really
Nautilus.
good into Nautilus. That would have been a really fun laning phase. That.
Yeah, that was really sad. Where it was like, yeah, we're not supposed to pick Tark. It's like, no, the Tark would have been
I really
so
wanted
good.
to see it come out. It's one of my favorite champions. So
So
a little bit unlucky there, but I guess.
yeah, it looks like everybody is ready.
Yep,
now.
I think we're heading back.
Oh, and they're already
Oh, wow.
in the champ select. Interesting. I don't think the...
Oh, my lifetime's gonna brighten your day.
Oh, so maybe that's a spectator bug? Because we see all the picks.
It might be.
They cannot
Yeah.
handle me.
Yeah, so we'll see the same
Never
bands.
pick a fight you can't win.
Yeah, I like this from the... From PTC. Banning Lux and Nico, seeing what else Padawan plays, and looking at something else.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of what Padawan plays. I did see a scrim where you tried Diana, so maybe
Yeah.
we can see that come out. That could maybe be a good counter to the Jarvan. Get in there, get everyone in the Cataclysm.
Yeah.
Diana takes that to their.
Yeah.
Yep. So now we see them all repicking their champions.
Okay.
A
Not
bit
wrong.
weird, but okay.
Especially because Diana can jump out of the Cataclysm also. Like, and Jarvan, and Diana does so much damage. Like, it's one of the very few ultis where, like, the more people that you grab with it actually does more damage. Unlike an Orianna Shockwave where you can grab 5 people, but it's doing the same amount of damage if it was just one person.
Who questions my ability?
So now
I do assume that the Karma will be heading bot lane right now. I think it's safe to assume. You want to keep that Ashe alive. You want to make sure that the Nautilus can't just, keep going in.
Yeah, especially lane dominance. But now, this is interesting. So, THE banned Syndra, and this Singed
And they do
again.
ban the Singed. It's almost as if we'll never see the champion.
Well, especially on red side, like THE being red side, that's an easy setup for like a Singed pick. But yeah, because THE banned Syndra, but that's also in like Padawan's champ pool. So I wonder if you're gonna pick mid laner here, and now it's a Donger hover.
And it is the Diana, the Padawan's Diana. So with the Singed ban, I am thinking maybe they're gonna go for a Shen. I feel like that might be why. So the Shen
works really well with the Javes.
Goes well with the Jarvan, and a Singed doesn't really care about the not being able to auto attack, and you can also use your W to stop the Shen teleport.
Okay, it is gonna be Malphite.
Looks like it's gonna be Malphite and Set.
Shen have also been very good because you can like go invisible with the Senna thing, and it's kind of like the whole Twitch concept with like Yumi, and you can like disguise the Shen, and then all of a sudden like Senna pops out and there's a Shen on top of you. But yeah, blind pick Malphite will be like really interesting, and that's like why the Singed ban. Like Malphite loves building armor, and Singed just runs around with MR. Or with
Mordekaiser is still up here. That's a big pick for Alex. He can take the Malphite out of fights so that he can't get a good ultimate off, and he's still magic damage, so that the Malphite can't build full armor.
They'd kind of be lacking engage though if they did that. Like you only have like Ashe if you lock in Mordekaiser.
So they will go with just another beefcake in the top lane.
Yeah, another
the Maokai.
Alex special. Just like put him on tank duty. So it'll be fine. It's kind of what the comp needs, and like Karma with the Maokai could be really gross. Kind of what we saw when we played a THE. Just put the Orianna ball on the Malphite, and or on the Maokai and let him run.
The Orianna ball on the Malphite or the J4 this time, or the Nautilus. There's a lot of engage from PTC.
I didn't even notice this. This engage from PTC is crazy. Your top side is Malphite J4 Ori. That is gross. That engage is extremely hard to dodge. Like
especially for a character like Ashe who doesn't have any mobility.
Yeah, like I hope you can flash the.
So it's kind of on the Karma's job to make it so that the Ashe has enough movement speed to kind of get out of troubled situations. But I do think that THE's draft does scale a little bit better. They have. I do think that the Maokai will be a lot bigger in fights. I don't think Senna and Orianna aren't really great for destroying a tank, but Ashe will eventually get through the front line of PTC.
And like pre-6 top side has a lot of gank assist for THE, and if Solo Mason goes like the Ignite Phase Rush, then maybe you can kill Megan Foxy early and make him less of a tank than Alex is. And when we saw Alex in week 7, he was doing so much with the lane manipulation and being able to get like huge CS leads out of just his own work. He doesn't need a jungle to get ahead, but then he sets up his jungler so well for ganks and stuff.
Yeah, I do think that the Malphite also has the better matchup against Malphite.
You like the Malphite over the Maokai?
No, I think the Maokai. He just has gank assist for the jungler. He does magic damage. He's probably going to run grasp. He just has like a better 1v1 overall. Malphite's biggest strength is his E, giving attack speed reduction to his laner opponent, but Maokai doesn't really care about that all so much.
Yeah, you only need that one auto off to get the empowered with the heal back. I have seen Malphites go Comet though to like help with the laning phase a little bit. We see Miles saying that like Maokai versus Malphite is Maokai favored, so maybe he just goes grasp to like kind of like sack the lane and be as tanky as he could be, or maybe he goes for the Comet so that when you throw the Q off, you're doing like more damage.
Even if the Malphite brings the Comet to the lane, he'll throw his Q. Malphite it won't hurt Malphite too much, and then he'll just use his passive to heal it back up. Especially if he does run the grasp, it should be the Maokai should be really safe this game, and I don't know where they're going to play around on the THE side. I don't see any really good lane that Graves, except for maybe the top lane. The bot lane doesn't have really good gank assist. They'd have to like have the Nautilus go in and then get a counter gank off. And it's really hard to, help a Diana snowball until she's 6. So I expect THE just to try farm up, play safe, and then start drooping up as a 5, as 5
for the neutral objectives.
Yes,
for sure.
And
maybe you can send like the bot lane to top lane for the Herald, because Ashe and Karma, when the Herald spawns, will be pretty strong with their engage.
And I do expect PTC to be looking for the bot lane plays. They have the Nautilus, they have the Jarvan, they have the Senna even. All 3 of them have CC. They could get a pretty easy kill.
You could chain CC that for a very long time.
Especially against an Ashe without mobility. It's really...
It's really scary to be Ashe this game. Yeah, I'd definitely be worried.
That is where I expect most of the action to be, for PTC at least, and I expect Graves to then be playing top side, maybe get an early Rift Herald, try and get towers top lane.
So yeah, Malphite has the Comet as we see, Jarvan has Conquer.
So no Ignite on the Graves. It does stick with the Flash.
Okay, interesting.
I also
it's
thought
not like it's bad. It's just it's an interesting concept. I've never tried the Graves with Ignite, but obviously Flash is a very strong summoning spell.
Yeah, I thought maybe this could be a game for the Conqueror Graves or the Fleet Footwork Graves, where since PTC does have so many tanky members, I assume it is going to be a tanky Jarvan. You have the Nautilus, you have the Malphite.
Yeah, but Graves just wants to try to get a lot done early, I would think. Graves is a very good early game jungler. Not in the case of CC, but just really high damage and running people down for Herald and stuff, or for the Scuttle Crab.
It could also be a full AD Jarvan with the Senna helping support it, and it will live longer. So
because they have good frontline anyways. The Jarvan, especially if he gets ahead, then he could just go more damage and try to one-shot people.
Yeah. So I think it depends on how well they play this early game. Will be how the Jarvan builds. If the Jarvan starts getting ahead, I think he's going to try and snowball his lead with some AD, but...
Yeah. And as strong as the engages on PTC's side, the one thing I'm a little concerned about is on the off chance that they either whiff the engage or say they flash out of it, if Ashe flashes out of the engage, then all of their champions are just go in. Malphite ulti jumps in and J4 jumps in, and then all of a sudden THE could be able to kite the fight out. So we're kind of seeing just a 5 points pretty much all across the board.
So it looks like we're not going to have any invades this game. Everyone's just 5-manning. They're just going to go back to their lane, play it safe.
Yeah. See Graves get the ward down, swap to sweeper, pretty standard strat at this point. Is that stopwatch on the Senna. He has Glacial Augment, so there very well could be.
Yep.
Minions have spawned.
Yeah, we see the Spellthief's Edge out of Karma, and it just got buffed this patch, so maybe that'll be pretty strong to help out with like poking out that bot lane, because we got was it mana regen on like the item, especially when it upgrades and it gives you more mana regen.
And I think it might give more ability power as well.
Yeah.
Early game. Yeah, so maybe they will be able to poke out that Nautilus, make it so that he's not as willing to go in.
Yeah, because if you're starting the trades and say like THE bot lane's at 80%, but Nautilus is at 50%.
Yep. So we do see the Jarvan and the Graves both starting top side. So the Jarvan's probably pathing bot to try and get that early gank off, and Solo Mason may be thinking about that. Start at top to counter gank.
Trade in the bot lane. But yeah, it's a nice trade back. Storyteller has the Comet on the Karma, and that's doing some pretty bad damage. Storyteller also has the Biscuit, so he must have gotten Inspiration Tree, so he's popping potions, coming back in health. Same thing with Big Lottie.
Now here's a question. What build do you think the Ashe is going to go? We've seen the tier build, and we've seen Bork. Which one do you think he'll go?
I would think he would go tier this game, because it's not like the PTC comp is extremely early game focused, and that would be like when I wouldn't want to go the tier build is like I need early game stats. Muramana is still like, it's not terrible.
And here's the Jarvan gang getting hit by the Nautilus.
Yeah, and that's the power of this bot lane. You got rooted by the Senna and hooked by.
Yep. Doesn't bother wasting any sums because he knows he's dead there.
Yeah, especially once you get hit by the Senna W with that roots. Then there's all the CC hooked by Nautilus and then snare for a second, and then the J4 is still there. So let's see if Solo Missing can try to trade back. He's already 2 camps up because Jarvan's just waiting in this mid lane. But
Cody getting caught on the minions heading through the mid lane.
Yeah.
But we also do see that the Senna is the one farming. So no fasting Senna. We're not going to have a Nautilus with 90 CS going into this game.
Yeah. Senna's going tier, which I think is pretty standard if you're going for if the Senna's actually farming. Going like Muramana and then going like Duskblade.
Here's the Graves showing up top side, seeing if he can get a gank off, but the Malphite is giving the necessary space to not get the gank off. So both teams playing to what we assumed they were going to be playing to, but it seems that PTC has gotten the early advantage off so far. Still can't tell if the Jarvan's going to be going damage or not. Just got the finished jungle item.
Yeah, that's pretty expected. Bot CS is pretty even though they got the first blood on the Ashe.
It's even, but there's also like 7 minions here that the blue side's going to get up, so...
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
And another hook lands. Big Long is just landing a lot of these right now, and that's going to hurt.
Cameron's getting extremely
Hook
low.
might be coming up. Okay. And they do get out. And we do have the Maokai TPing in.
And another TP in for Mega Foxy, but Mega Foxy is only level 5 here, so it can't really offer anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Alex burns all of his sums, but so does Deadpool Gambit. So, even though...
THE still has most of their sums in the bot lane, they only use the heal.
Yeah, that's good presence of mind from Legit Camel. Like, even though he...
Mega Man Zero getting a lot of damage here on Padawan.
Yeah, it's just super smart. Just don't panic when like you're using the some of your spells. Like Flash is extremely important on Ashe this game, and he knew that he didn't need to use it.
So Ashe, realizing that she's behind, thinks that she's gonna get a cull, maybe to try and get this gold caught back up. Try and last hit as many minions as he can. Hope that will balance out the CS difference that they already have.
Yeah, we'll see. Cull is very risky because if you like if PTC does like camp the bot lane, then it'll be extremely difficult for Ash to stack that up. But if they're able to just chill, like play behind minions so they don't get Nautilus hooked, then yeah, the call is a very efficient item.
And the Nautilus did get his Ignite back up with still no healing on the other team. They still do have the flashes, so...
Yeah, because in the first stage, Nautilus burned Ignite, but Jake Campbell didn't burn Ignite with Thunders, and she burned her heal when we saw the double TP come bottom lane.
And we have the Grievous Wounds coming out from the Malphite already to try and get rid of this healing from the Grasp and his passive to try and make this laning phase not as oppressive.
Yeah, that's interesting, because for Bramble to work, you need the Maokai to auto-attack the Malphite. And Maokai doesn't really care too much. Like, you can just auto-attack a minion to get the healing off, so I don't really like that purchase. And like armor in general is like fine, because out of the 3 damage dealer, two of them are 80. But I kind of would have liked the Spectre's Cowl.
In top lane, we do see the Graves King coming through, but the Maokai actually solos the Malphite solos the Maokai, but Graves does get the counter gank off, or the gank off, at least trade back the kill.
Yeah, so top lane definitely worth for THE getting the more gold over, but PTC really smart to recognize that, gets the Infernal Dragon, so definitely a win trade by PTC.
And I do agree with the chat where the Bramble does make sense, because even if the Malphite's not autoing in lane, you do have the Malphite Grasp that heals them, and you do have the Diana and the Ashe, both that are going to be hitting them.
Yeah,
and
Diana's also auto-attack,
especially
so
with the Conqueror, it'll get rid of the healing there as well. And it does look
valid.
with the Ashe building the dagger first, it most likely will be the Bork build, which will be another lifesteal item that the Grievous Wounds will be getting rid of.
Yeah, that's valid. Especially if Malphite is trying to be as helpful like for side lanes and for other lanes as possible, like TPing bottom with the dragon and stuff. It'll definitely be valuable in the team fights. So.
And we do have the Senna ult now that can go anywhere on the map, so it makes it harder to gank the top lane if the Graves decides to go. You all of a sudden will have this giant shield that you might not be expecting.
Yeah, especially out of Senna, but it's a little newer champion, so you might not 100% be like playing around it. Like when you think of like a Soraka on the enemy team, it's like, or if you always wanted Soraka's been out for 7-8 years.
And with the Senna hitting 6, I assume the Nautilus will be hitting 6 pretty soon as well.
Yeah,
and as soon as that happens, I think we can look for people to start roaming down in this bot lane and try to really get this lane, this lead that they've had starts to snowball.
Yeah, because they're already up 18 CS.
They could have Mega Man roam down with the Orianna ult, and the Nautilus landing a hook could really, it almost guarantees the shockwave to come through as well.
Yeah, you would definitely one-shot one person and maybe a second situation. So, yeah, otherwise, top lane is up 12 CS on the side of THG. Mid lane is tied in CS, which is nice.
We have Graves invading red side, but they did see it on a ward, and the Jarvan is coming to meet him. And with Padawan just backing, the Graves does have to get out of here. But it looks like he's going to get up perfectly fine.
Does Solo Mason already have the warrior done? Or is it just the red smite? A little hard to tell. I guess I need to get new glasses.
So Jarvan does look like he's trying to come back to the bot lane. I don't know if they're going to try and dive, or it looks like they've given up already.
Yeah, they're playing pretty safe down here. I'd assume. Yeah, you have a pink in that bottom bush. Plus
Yeah, I would have at least liked the Jarvan to at least throw his flag into that bush, see if there is vision in there, and once you clear it out.
Yeah, that's another thing I really like about the Ashe.
Looks like the Senna is looking now.
Ashe can grant so much vision for your team with the Hawk Trap being avoided. It's definitely annoying as the jungler when you're trying to make a gank like top lane or something, and all of a sudden they spot you. So
So this mid lane has been pretty even. It's kind of hard for the Diana to farm into Orianna, I would assume, because even though you are a mage, your auto attacks still do a lot of damage. But he's keeping up in the CS pretty evenly.
The thing is with Diana, you have a lot of health, so it's a lot harder to get like poked out by like the Orianna ball, in which like other mages like would. And the all-in from Diana is pretty scary, so not like scary enough to like randomly burn a flash, but Orianna definitely has to respect the Diana.
Also, it's been a long time since the Jarvan recalled, because he recalled first and got that finished jungle item. But ever since he got the skirmishers, he hasn't recalled and finished his jungle item, which is like one of the biggest power spikes for a jungler.
Yeah, and you see it, like Solo Mason has been basing, and he has the full warrior.
Yeah, and so with this warrior, like even if the Jarvan does check him here, he can't fight him because the Graves just has way more stats.
Yeah, and while Solo Mason was doing the Herald, we missed something in the power. All 4 teleports came down, and looks like the Ocean's coming up in 18 seconds, so they'll be looking to start that. But Maokai's like heading top lane, so maybe they're sacking this dragon again, and trying to get top tower. Because yeah, Graves isn't even close, so they're just gonna trade it. And
yeah, the Graves and walking up to try and get vision of the dragon to see if they are doing it ends up costing him.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
But the Graves will get the top turret for it.
Yeah, you kind of just need to assume that they're going to be at the dragon, and so it's not worth trying to check it.
And it looks like blue, PTC might be looking for play mid, but I guess that got found out pretty
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah, TG down 2 kills and 2 dragons, but they're up like 600 gold because they got that tower. So even though there's a death happened in the bottom lane, Solo Mason is making really good work at this time. So still up 20 CS.
The thing is, with it being a mountain soul, if PTC does get to that soul, they have
4 mountains.
Yeah, and it is the tank Jarvan, so it'll be a tank Jarvan, tank Malphite, Nautilus. It's gonna be really hard to get through those members.
Yeah, well, on the opposite side, on THE, if they can get 4 mountains on Maokai and then give more tankiness to Diana, who's gonna be jumping in, that'll be...
Yeah, so this next dragon is huge. Depending on which team gets this, it's going to either get PTC on soul point, or TEG will at least be able to start contesting these dragons that have been coming through.
Yeah, Deadpool Gambit now has Manamune done and a Phage, and got 2-1 boots, which is pretty crazy. Wow, legit Camel is only on the Cutlass, still has a call, has like 20 some stacks on it, so not terrible, and the 2-2 boots done. So I would think that soon he would have gold for the weaker bow, or like the Blade of the Reaper showed up. Diana finished the Ranger, so that's a good finish, and then Orianna got the Luden's Echo, so she'll be super strong.
So hopefully the call will be done by the time this next dragon comes up, so that THE can actually start fighting for these objectives. But as you see, we still see this. Jarvan can just come bot lane, put down his ult, and it's just so much CC that they have in this lane that whoever they decide what is going to die will just die.
Yeah, and they knew that the Karma Flash was still down, so that's very good to recognize that Ash's Flash Karma doesn't, so just get well through the time that she has. There was a little skirmish in the mid lane, or in the bot river though, between Padawan and Mega Man Zero, where Padawan just randomly burns Mega Man's flash. That's pretty nice. Now they're stealing the blue buff. That's gonna piss me off, but there's a lot of buggers on this side.
Yeah, interesting that they didn't just finish the blue and turn on the Malphite there. So the Jarvan was able to EQ over the wall and smite the blue away and actually secure it for their team.
Yeah, that was almost like really like tragic on the side of THU, because they had just mid and top, and Alex is not super tanky yet, and they had Malphite ulti that they used, but they didn't even use the Orianna chakra. Just like wasn't quite in range.
And with the Jarvan ult to keep them there, because they had just used a bot lane. They were kind of running low on fuel.
So, yeah. Legit Camel still doesn't have the stuff needed for Borg, but Graves is on Warrior and Black Cleaver, while J4 has the finished item. I think it's the Cinder Hulk.
Cinder Hulk and Phage.
Along with the Phage.
And Graves going back to finish the tier 2 boots. He's up like 40 CS, so he's kind of keeping THE into it right now, because without him, they'd be a lot farther behind.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, bot lane is down 23 CS on the side of TG.
Yeah,
and,
well, we do see a Storyteller here clearing the vision, trying to get ready for this next dragon that's coming up in a minute. The legit Camel is hopefully going back to get a Bork here so that they can actually fight.
Yeah.
But no, just getting a recurve bow. So they're going to be lacking a lot of the physical damage from the bot lane. So it's a lot of this damage is going to have to come from the Graves and the Diana.
Yeah, at this fight, like legit Cam was just like a CC bot. Just throw out your W and hope your ulti is really good. Maybe.
Yeah, so it would be nice to see PTC hopefully targeting the Graves or the Diana or the Karma in this fight, because the Ashe isn't going to be putting out as much damage as you would think.
Yeah, everyone has teleport again, so these top laners can just have their wet noodle fight, and then wait to TP into the dragon. Maokai's coming in.
We do have the Maokai coming in first.
So Malphite can like shove this wave if he wants. He's just sitting there waiting for a good ward. I think there's a minion wave bot lane. Malphite could just TP like behind them and get like a sick kick going on.
Or teleporting to the mid lane. We do see the Malphite teleporting in now, but they're trying to harvest the Nautilus.
Oh, good Diana ulti, like inside the Cataclysm.
But just not enough. There's just not that much damage on this team yet. They still have the Graves at full HP.
Chakra is here. 3-minute chakra from Orianna. It's really sick. They're all extremely low. Double Gambit putting out 2-6 damage.
The Graves can still fight here though.
Yeah, they have enough.
Ooh, it's a really close fight, but
you can see that would have been THE favored if the call got finished and like the board came in for legit Camel. It was definitely a Borg. Like Borg would have made the difference in that fight. That was extremely close. But yeah, incredibly good chakra from Mega Man Zero, hitting 3 people, putting them all extremely low for them to finish them off.
It was also a really good Diana ult, but there was no follow-up after the Diana
got her ult off. Distracted by the Malphite. There was like 4 people hitting the Malphite while Diana and Padawan Tano went in. So maybe if Padawan would have had reinforcements like a Karma Shield or anything, then he could have picked up 1% at least by himself.
But it was definitely the Orianna coming in clutch at the end of that team fight to really secure it. It was looking really close up until then, and then...
Yeah, and now it was like on Soul Point. Maybe they get a catch. They get the Karma Shield. They
will get the Nautilus here, and the Malphite probably as well. He does have his ult back up, so he will get away.
Yeah, and he flashes, so the flash isn't as important on the Malphite as like the ulti is. You can get the ulti back, but if you had to burn like one or the other, definitely burn the flash, because Malphite is extremely ulti reliant.
I mean, he did use both to try and get out.
Yeah, he did have to use both. So. Yeah, because we're 20 minutes in now. Baron's on the table. Looks like it's just 1-1 in towers, because the bot lane tier 1 is down 4 in THE, but the top lane tier 1 is down 4 in PTC. So maybe kind of like people are just dancing around the mid lane, hovering over there.
Yeah, THE just needs to try and get as much gold onto this Ashe as they possibly can, because she is falling really far behind, and she really needs to catch up so that they have the damage to burn through all these tanks.
Yeah, Ashe is down 40 CS and 2 assists and 3 kills, because Black Cleaver is out and the Manamune. I wonder, can we see how many stacks is on the tier for this? So
it's
almost
stacked.
done. Yeah, and that's going to be a huge power spike.
Yeah, that will be completed by the next dragon fight.
Yeah,
and so TG needs to get a lot of gold onto this Ashe before this.
Yeah.
Even if it is just like using your Ashe arrow to try and catch out someone who's overextended just to get some assists on her, because they're going to need more items on this Ashe to be able to burn through all these tanks.
Yeah, I would think that right now. Like, I mean, Ashe has yeah, this Karma is getting punished again.
Yep.
I mean, that's the Karma v Nautilus matchup. Just Karma.
It's mostly just the Jarvan. Like, the Jarvan Cataclysm has really been setting up these bot lane ganks, and it's kind of why I was looking for the Jarvan ban, because it's a very consistent champion, especially if you're looking to play it against, like, play this Ashe.
Yeah, because, like, think about Draft. Draft was, like, weird because PTC locked in the Senna first on first side, which isn't a contested pick. But we knew that Jarvan was, but then even still, then THG had 2 picks, and they locked in the Ashe, and they locked in the Karma.
And the Ashe ult goes right through the middle, not hitting anybody.
Yeah, J4 used the cover
and
to get
a huge shockwave again.
Yeah.
These are some massive shockwaves.
Oh, and the Q from Jarvan just barely clips the Maokai, and fishing out for 2 camels, so now all of a sudden...
Yeah, PTC is probably going to go to Baron after they get this tower, after catching out 2 of the THG members.
You'd think, but like...
Oh no, they just want to go farther. They said, we still have Malphite ult, let's keep going in.
Yeah.
Who knows? The J4 ult almost got back up. It's back up now. Maybe they're going to go in even farther. Or maybe they decide now we should reset.
They don't have a wave yet, but now, like, J Camel's back up, and now he's going to be up right now. So, yeah, the Bork is done. You still have 1 stack left on the call before you can cash that in, so that's pretty tragic that you couldn't just sell that right there and there.
Yeah, it was definitely a huge risk going for, and it seems to have not paid off so well this game.
Yeah, it really delayed power spikes on the J Camel's Ashe. But yeah, this Orion has been putting in a lot of work. 2 3-man shockwaves already in just 23 minutes.
But THE is to the first to these dragon, like the dragon pit, the last 2 times, and they're getting this vision down. They just might be a little bit too far behind in gold to actually contest this.
Yeah, so right now the gold difference is 4,000 already.
But the problem is they can't also just give them the dragon, because that will be the soul. So
yeah,
they're looking to hopefully catch someone walking into this bush all by themselves. And they do catch the jungler. Has the stopwatch though, and another decent shockwave catching Maokai back.
Yeah,
and now here comes and just the re-engage. They just have so many ways to engage onto this backline with very low mobility.
Yeah, Diana didn't have the opportunity to use her ulti in this last fight, so now they're gonna get the soul over. Soul Mason is gonna try to mess with one, but with Malphite and Orianna blocking him off, there's no way that he gets to this dragon, and now he's probably just gonna lose his life. So
yeah,
it sucks. Like you kind of have to go for that play, but yeah, like the 80 carry like item differential this game is just super massive.
The Graves does get away, but I do assume I do believe that PTC will now start looking to set up towards that Baron. They already have a pink on it. They already have some vision around it. They should look to try and force a fight there because they're so far ahead.
Yeah, they're so far ahead, and that's like something like they need to realize. Like they're so strong. And you kind of saw in this last fight. They're so strong. You can like easily go on these fights, and you will win them just based on like item differential alone. Like tanks are just gonna be tanks in top lane. So Maokai versus Malphite is whatever.
Yeah,
but
we really need to see the PTC really start trying to end this game out by getting this Baron, because they are really far ahead with this Mountain Soul, and they don't, even though you do have Mountain Soul, you don't want to delay the game, allow the Ashe to get caught back up. They win a team fight and give the enemy team the Baron or the Elder Dragon.
Yeah. But you need to make sure that it is very calculated though, because at one point in time, or for right now, PTC, if they get the Baron, they will end the game. But at the same time, THA is so far behind that if PTC starts the Baron and then THA steals it, then that'll be a crazy swing in their favor. So as long as it is very calculated about the Baron setup and not taking the 50-50 and just going for a fight at that point, PTC will 100% win that fight. Like, just based on like...
but PTC does have the better team fighting team comp here.
Yeah.
So they need to like try and force THE to group up and come to this area so that they can force a fight.
Yeah. And that's a nice thing about in this specific scenario, because THE is red side, when they walk into the Baron pit, it's all coming from one area and not like two like if they're from blue side. But yeah, with this Orianna ball just threatening so much and just trying to get a little bit of vision.
THE does know about this Baron, but they're not. The Maokai's not rotating over. It almost seems like as if they're just gonna go try for the steal and just let it be like that.
Yeah.
But here he comes now.
Yeah, they need to force something. Yeah, could you have Padawan Tano on the bottom lane with teleport release here? And they're just gonna get off it.
We do have the Malphite that just TP'd in, looking for the engage, and they decide we're going for Graves first, and now we'll do the Baron.
Yeah, and that's kind of smart. Like Graves used flash in the last fight, you know it's not up. So
yeah, Malphite going, yep, I'll use everything to make sure that you are not here for this Baron. We don't want the chance for you to get this steal.
Yeah, and another shotgun fishing off Legit Camel, pretty much 100-0. He's hasn't had a great game today. He only has 4 with the Zeal and 1 dagger. You can finally sell the Ko, so maybe he'll have a Hurricane, but he's down with Black Reaper, Fire Cannon, and
sells the
Ramana.
Cull and the Doran's Blade. Finally gets to 2 items, but the Senna's already at 3. It's not looking too good. The Senna is going to recall here, get probably another BF sword or something.
Yeah, maybe like a serrated Dirt. Not 100% sure what the build path is for Senna, but...
Well, she's holding on to that broken stopwatch. I assume she's probably going for that Guardian Angel.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And we do see the stopwatch coming from Orianna, so it's even harder to get kill her. We also have the stopwatch in the top lane.
It's just so hard for them to win these fights, especially with the stopwatches. Like, if it was like the opposite way around, where THE was very ahead and PTC was very behind, at least PTC had Malphite, J4, Orianna, and even if you're really behind, those engaged tools can be just enough to win a fight when you're very far behind. But THE's comp makes it so that once they're behind, it is very difficult to catch back up.
Yeah, THE needed to be ahead this game, get some split pushers in, and then take control that way. But it was just too... The problem was that their bot lane was just not mobile enough to live these ganks that the Jarvan and the Nautilus were able to like put together.
Yeah, and they just like didn't respect it. You saw it in the first blood by when Legit Camel died. He died with both thumbs up. You see when the J4 comes in and you see the Senud coming at you, it's kind of weird to flash that, but you kind of need to.
And it's just something you should notice by comps, where like, where are they looking for these early ganks?
Yeah.
Like, we saw the Malphite playing safe far enough back so that when the Graves did show up, he wasn't able to get the ganks off. And bot lane didn't play with that respect for these ganks that were coming through.
Yeah, because you know that's going to be the focus of Jarvan this game when you have Senna super high gank assists.
Yeah, but here we just see PTC going with their death ball strategy of, we don't want to have anyone caught out. If you want to fight us, you're gonna have to fight all of us.
Yeah, but I feel like they should still send someone else in the side lane. Like, you could send like anyone, say like Malphite down in the bot lane and shove that out, because you have the Elder coming up in 20 seconds. So that's another scenario where PTC needs to make sure they really set this up well, because on the off chance that they don't get the fight.
But yeah, if you look at the vision, they have to blind check these bushes, and then you never know where that Malphite's hiding. It just so happened he was in that bush.
Yeah.
Gets the 2-man knock up, and
another 2-man
that's all she wrote for this team fight.
Yeah, now they're just gonna get Elder Dragon and try to close this game out, because that timers are what, 25 on Legit Camel, 30 on Diana, 35 on Alex. So Yeah, there's no way they can play check this. They're down way too much.
Yeah, this looks like a really clean game from PTC so far.
Yeah.
It's really well played.
Yeah, it'll be a...
Yeah, as long as they stay grouped, I don't see a way for TG to come back. There's no game-winning play that they can do.
Like if you could somehow get like a 5-man Diana ulti that already hasn't been punished by Malphite, J4 Ori, then I guess.
The problem with that though is they still have the 2 stopwatches on the mid lane and top laner.
Yeah.
They have the GA just finished from the AD carry. You kind of have to get that 5-man Diana ult 2 times in a row now.
Yeah.
Because you have to use the first one to blow all that, blow all those items, and then they have to do it again to actually finally start winning.
Yeah, Senna just hit level 15.
And the biggest thing though is Malphite's flash just coming back up. They're just gonna group us 5 as soon as they see a good opportunity. I assume Malphite will just flash ult. Jarvan will go in with his, and
legit Camel and Solo Mason and Panwantano have their flashes up, so I guess you can flash that. But Storyteller does not.
And here we just
not tanky at all.
Yeah, and we just see the Elder Dragon just putting in so much work. It's such a cool animation, but that's so unfortunate. Was that the Thornmail damage killing the Graves?
That definitely could have been
because of the
Bramble Vest.
Yeah, the Bramble proc taking him low enough for the Elder Dragon to proc. That's pretty sad. But this is a really clean game from PTC.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see how THE decides how they want to bounce back and try and bring this series back to a best of 3.
Yeah, it was like we were saying before, like if you stick to your game plan, you recognize like what your counter strength is, then it'll be very easy to execute. And that's what we saw from PTC. They have a lot of very solid engage in hard CC, especially in the bot lane. They focus that. They get a lot of bot lane kills. Legit Camel ended this game 0-6.
Look at that Malphite damage topping the boards.
That is the comet coming in hot. Yeah, even Orianna and Senna with the Muramana Senna build can't compete with the pure tank Malphite.
But a lot of that is just top lane. You have 2 tanky boys just hitting each other, stacking up. They're like, hey, I'll stack up my damage if you stack up yours. And it's like this big deal that they have, trying to get their damage to look really nice at the end of the game.
Yeah, so, yeah, like you said, we'll have to see how TG adapts to this. And thinking about, like, what they prioritize. I do, like, even though this game went very south for the THE bot lane, I still like the Ashe priority. But maybe if instead of picking the Karma right away, because it's not a super contested pick, if they picked the Jarvan, how different would this game have been?
Or even the Morgana, right? Storyteller's Morgana is really good. It wasn't banned this game. The Morgana blocks the Nautilus hooks. It blocks the Senna Ws. There was just so much CC that this was a really good game for the Morgana, but the Karma came through instead, and well, we'll see what happens next game. Hopefully it's a little bit closer. This was a bit one-sided, but I do believe that THE can bounce back.
Yeah, they have played like very strong before, so this is probably maybe it's just a fluke game, and they can definitely bounce back, and because they know, like especially in the Fire Nation game, they played very well and had early leads. They can play strong. So.
And I think we're going to be going on a break.
Yep.
So we'll be back at, I think, 3? 2:55?
2:55. Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Yep.
Searching for music for your next video? Then you need to check out Artlist.
The MIDI pack.
Goes MIDI pack.
Unbelievable.
Insane MIDI pack.
You want a beautiful melody? I got you.
And we're back after a pretty kill-heavy game that first game was. Interesting to see that even though game one, THE picked red side, looked like drafts didn't really go their way, and now they're electing to go blue side for this next game. So maybe we'll see how they swap up their picks and bans and their
probably. I think THE might put more priority on that Jarvan. It did. It was very impactful, and it is something that Solo Mason does play.
Yeah. So maybe they will just go for a first pick for that. But even though the Ashe did die a lot, I still think like Ashe is still like a very strong champion with the Ashe arrow with the hawk shots being very long range. So maybe they just go for the Ashe pick, but you need to get more protection than just a karma
Morgana
shield up.
was still up, and it was something Storyteller had been saying he really wanted to play, and it went through the whole draft phase, and it would have been a really good pick into how much CC that they had on that team.
You know what would have been really good that last game? the Tarek that we didn't see.
Ooh, Tarek would have actually been a really good champ. Tarek just wins against all engaged champions, and that was a pretty heavy engaged team, so who knows?
Also with THE being blue side, it's a lot harder to pick a singed this game. Normally, we've seen a lot of top lane counter pick, so...
But I do think PTC might be one of those teams that want to try and get Brett a favorable matchup in the mid lane because he does influence the game a lot. Like you did see all those shockwaves.
Yeah, he had a lot of crazy
fights.
shockwaves.
But the thing is, like, you will also just see them blind pick the Orianna because of how safe it is and how good of a champion he is. It is for Brett.
Yeah, especially with the phase rush build, like you have so much mobility. Like the W already like lets you move so fast, and then with phase rush you can escape ganks like very easily. And yeah, that shockwave, especially when you combo it with the J4 and the Malphite, you just win a team fight in 3 seconds.
I do expect a lot of the same bans to come out. I do expect the Set, the Aphelios, and then I do assume PTC will still ban out a lot of Padawan's champions. It seemed to really work out the first game.
Yeah, especially because this game he wasn't impactful that much on the Diana. Like, he was holding his own against Mega Man to a point, but because of Deadpool Gambit just being so far ahead and the difference in compositions, like Padawan and Tano couldn't really do that much. So yeah, it was a pretty good idea for PTC to target Padawan's champions, see what else he plays besides the Lux that did really well week 7.
It might be possible that when did they pick the Diana? They picked it like 4th pick?
Yeah, it was right after the second phase of bans.
Yeah, maybe maybe THE will pick a mid laner earlier in the draft before so many mid lanes get banned. Sure, his 2 most played got banned right away, but there's still a lot more mid lane bans after the second phase.
Yeah. If PTC wanted to do something like ban Lux, ban Nico, and then pick mid 3rd, and then right after Red Side picks 3rd, then you're going right into ban phase, ban 2 more mids maybe, and Padawan's going even farther in his champion pool. But I mean, if you didn't look super strong on the Diana that game, then the question is like, are you fine leaving it up, or do you like?
Well, he
ban
did show signs of life. That one Dragon fight, he almost won it for them with his 3-man Diana ult.
Yeah, very true.
But
that
then
was
Brett
crazy.
was like, a 3-man ult? Hold mine, and he decided to do the same thing right back.
Yeah, hold
and
my
swing
Orianna
it.
ball.
Decided to just win it right back for his team by being like, I could do that
one
too.
better. So, yeah, that's a very solid point. So, that's definitely not a bad idea. Yeah, it was very close until that dragon fight, because yeah, if the Ash didn't have the call in that scenario, would have had the Borg, that definitely could have been a THE win. But he was still sitting on just random components.
Do you expect to see the Caitlyn ban again from PTC?
I feel like yeah, because Ash is strong, but Ash is extremely immobile, and at least Caitlyn can give more mobility and a safer laning phase, even though it's not great. It's not like Ezreal mobility, which is like Ezreal's a very slippery champion, but it's still something. So
all right, and it looks like we're hopping into champ select. I assume Aphelios right off the bat.
Yep.
All right,
it's almost like
here comes Lux. All right, and then Set. Right.
I promise Tommy's not just talking to both of these teams right now.
All right, make me look good. Give me the Set. What else could it be? Are they thinking Jarvan?
Maybe the Jarvan comes out, but their blue side they could just first
Orianna. All right, I've lost my touch.
All right, it's okay. You're 2 for 3. Nico, we expected the Nico.
I had that one coming out, and then
we didn't say it, but
what else could they go here if it's not Set or Jarvan?
Maybe the Nautilus. Big Locked actually looked pretty good on the Nautilus last game. Yeah. So
and most likely the Caitlyn. Yep.
Yeah. So we're 5 for 6.
Wait, yeah, we did pretty good. And yep, they're just first picking the Set, but now they give away the Jarvan, here, most likely.
And
Senna
they
Jarvan.
like the Senna. God, it's like I'm watching an I Will Dominate co-stream, but we can't do that anymore.
Yep, send a Jarvan.
So then you probably match jungle then. Cody still likes the... Or Solo Mason still like the
does Solo
Graves.
Mason play set at all? I am guessing that it's set top because I know Alex does play it a lot.
I'm not sure if he's been practicing it, but Ezreal's a very interesting champion. I didn't know Camel played a whole lot of Ezreal, and Ezreal will be perfect for this Jarvan to be able to arcane shift out of the Cataclysm.
And there's the
and Morgana. Yeah,
I guess my question is, if you're planning on picking the Morgana here, do you really need to ban the Nautilus? Because the Morgana makes it so that the Nautilus can't really do anything. Nautilus targets one character, and will CC that character until they're dead. But Morgana says, yeah, no. And it really makes the champion not really do what you wanted to do. And the Malphite comes back out. Granted, the Morgana can still at least make one person not get knocked up by the Malphite.
Yeah.
And Ezreal is a lot more mobile, can arcane shift out of it if he has the reaction.
Yeah, so maybe like there'll just be more safety for the Morgana.
I hear you.
Ezreal can just help himself. But even when THE's on blue side, like they see the Malphite comes out, and they really don't want to see set.
Yeah, they're banning these top laners, but this probably is the set top.
Yeah, and that's like we were talking about before. Like set is very strong, but it's only really strong if it's flexible. So if Cody's been playing it, or Solo Mason's been playing it, then awesome. Then that's a great pick. But we'll see shortly.
And we see a Bard coming through. Now, this is what I pulled out against a Morgana last week.
Yeah.
So, something not a lot of people know is if you hit whoever is black shielded with your Q and then hit a wall, the Q will get rid of the black shield because of how much damage it does. And then when the Q hits the wall, the target will still get stunned.
Yeah, it's a pretty awesome interaction.
So it's one of the only champions that still stuns Morgana, even with the black shield. And we see Cody going back onto tank duty because it is the set top.
Yeah, Cody, Solo Mason really likes the Sejuani.
And do we just see the Diana run back?
Yeah, I wonder what else is in his champion pool. I think it's just gonna be the Diana again. I haven't seen Padawan Tano pull up much else.
Lissandra.
This is actually really nice. If they lock this in, yeah. Because Malphite ults in and Lissandra ults.
Now, what's a good
himself?
counter to Lissandra here? Do we see the TF still up? Do we just pick something that will roam
really
as well?
Good would be Azir. I think Mega Man Azir should go Azir right here. Azir just like outranges Lissandra very hard and just pokes her out. And like you can even like throw the Azir ulti and like push him out. Okay. Corki still does like the same thing. You can just shoot rockets at it once you hit 6. And Corki offers a lot of pressure at Dragon. You can just save the package for every single Dragon, and it's extremely hard to contest.
Because the package cooldown and the respawn of the Dragon timer are both 5 minutes, so you just get it every fight. And it's basically a Rumble ultimate as your passive.
It's Rumble ultimate on
steroids?
Like, pretty much, yeah. Because it does like a 90% slow or something, and it burns so much. Like Rumble ultimate, if you like walk on it and then like off it, you'll get burned for a second. But Corki package, just like a couple seconds, you're still slowed forever and dealing a bunch of damage. So, yeah. And what's nice about this game is, I would think Mega Man Zero would go cleanse here because of all the hard CC. But even if he didn't, this is an extremely good game for QSS. And if you're gonna build QSS, then what's a better champion to build on than Corki, who loves building like the attack damage, Mercurial Scimitar stuff.
Do you still get a lot of lifesteal off, even though you're doing magic damage? Does it?
Yes.
Does it actually take like how much you would do as physical damage and convert that to the lifesteal?
Yes. Yep. So yeah, lifesteal is still equally as good on Corki as other marksmen. So yeah. Well, this comp though from THE like reminds us of the comp last from PTC. You have a lot of hard CC. The Morgana binding lands forever, and Lissandra's known for all of her hard CC.
I feel like it's actually kind of like flipped now. It's like THE has the bot lane with a lot of CC that can really get them snowballing here, where you get the Sejuani coming bot lane, guarantees the Morgana binding onto the Senna. But like if you look at PTC's side, like the Jarvan, where is he gonna gank? There's not too many gank assists. It would still be on that bot side as well. But this time you've got an Ezreal who can just arcane shift out of everything, and a Morgana who can black shield and make it so that there's no crowd control. It makes it where the Jarvan really has to like
find weird
ways to get these ganks off.
Yeah, it'll be a lot more like obscure ways to try to gank, because like. Yeah, Ezreal Morgana is extremely neutralizing. It's not like a dominant lane. It's not like Caitlyn Morgana. But you offer a lot of safety. So theoretically, there should be like very few opportunities for PTC to do anything.
Mm-hmm. And you, like when you're playing against a Morgana, you have to be really mindful of when that black shield is up. Mm-hmm. You want to try and burn the black shield and then use your big abilities.
Yeah, and maybe Big Lots will get like that Bard combo like you were talking about. But
the thing is, you have to hit the champion first.
Yeah,
and it's really a weird thing that like never comes up because it's really hard for. They have to put themselves in a position for you to stun them.
Yeah,
but
that's what I like about Bard, because so many of these champions like Morgana, Nautilus, and Thresh, everyone just thinks, oh, if I hide behind the minions, then I'll be totally safe. But Bard doesn't care. You just stun the minion, and then it hits you, and then you auto attack, proc electrocute, and. That's a pretty good trade right there.
Yeah, it's a great trade.
Otherwise, the other thing I noticed is like I really like the Sedge right here, but you only have one other melee champion on THE. And granted, there like we said, there's a lot of hard CC, but for proccing that Sedge passive, it won't be like the easiest thing in the world.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Solo Mason should be camping bot this game. They want to try and get this Ezreal ahead. You can gank top, but it is a Malphite. He's going to be viable no matter how long.
Yeah, Bard ult anyone list dives. That makes a lot of sense. If Lissandra jumps in and tries to throw like this snare on someone, and the snare lasts like a deceptively like long time for being able to hit many people, you can stop the Lissandra engage like in its tracks, kind of like what the Malphite was doing last game.
Yeah, I kind of have the opposite idea. Is you let the Lissandra come into your team, and you just Zhonya's the rest of the team, and you just target the Lissandra down. All of a sudden, she has no follow up, and it's just a Lissandra.
And it's just her,
she's running the electrocute version though, so maybe she can burst someone down. But like, Lissandra's not really known for her like burst damage. She's more of like a crowd control.
Yeah, definitely. Aftershock would be like pretty lackluster this game.
But normally we do see the cleanse from the Corki here.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense, because even level 3 or in like random like jungle skirmishes, if like the mids are trying to help out,
it's not electrocute Bard, it's Omnistone Bard. He's going for a lot more.
Yeah, you see TG grouping up what's looking to be kind of like by the pixel bush, or no, they're going top, I guess. But Corki's here to catch it. So
30 seconds until
that's kind of something that you will see with.
Yeah, we should see THE come put in a deep ward, hopefully, or no. Okay.
That's what
no, they did get one on the red buff.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that was what like I was worried that teams would be afraid of, is you go for the engage like at level 1, but you only do it to get vision, and teams will be hesitant to go in if they like see the enemy team is like, oh, we know they're invading our top side for vision, and just be like, yeah, it's fine if you see us, we don't care, we'll throw our ward down to get information. And good by PTC to recognize that, and I think they got a ward on their Raptors, so that'll be a solid ward as well.
See, I don't really like the Sejuani starting bot side. You kind of want him to start top side so he can get down to that bot lane and gank it right at level 3. But so with the way it's working now, it looks like he's going to try and gank that set who can proc the Sejuani passive 2 times really quickly for you, and maybe try and get Alex a little snowball ahead before he starts ganking bot lane.
Yeah, Alex definitely could snowball this lane. It's the 200 years from set now, but
It's like 198 years. They didn't quite get to 200 years yet. They were almost there.
Almost there.
And getting hit by the first binding isn't always the greatest sign, but it is Bard, so he'll be able to heal himself back up.
Yeah. Yeah, Ezreal started to call this game. I wonder if he went for the cut down strat.
But we got the Sejuani going buff to buff, so it looks like he really wants to gank this top lane like really fast, or maybe gank the mid lane. But like with cleanse, it's really hard to actually kill the Corki right off the bat.
Yeah, especially because by that time Corki will definitely have Valkyrie. But I was looking and I wonder if Alex was gonna shove the wave, try to get it to bounce, and Sejuani can go up there when the wave was in a favorable spot for Alex 5.127.
The Ezreal actually started with Cull this game instead of getting it back on his first back.
Yeah.
So he will be able to finish that a little bit earlier. And it's not the worst starting item because you actually get like more healing off of it. So you don't get the extra base HP that you do from Doran's Blade, but you get more sustain.
Yeah. And we actually see Sejuani is up here, dancing around the alcove, and I don't think Malphite knows about this. I wonder how long he's going to be sitting in this bush for, because he's already down one camp. And you see come out. Oh, he was one away from getting the passive, but
yeah,
free flash.
But they do get the flash, but that was a lot of time wasted. And then we see the Jarvan. I guess they're going to go crab for crab. Jarvan didn't take the top crab yet, so that's pretty lucky from the Sejuani. But and we see the stun coming out. No electrocute though. Unlucky.
Yeah. Some decent damage, but yeah, lacking the base HP on Cull is pretty nice.
Oh, but we got the regank.
Regank. Yeah, we got
one more attack and he'll get stunned. And we should be seeing like the W coming out from set.
Yeah, they really want to get
this to set. Yep.
Yeah, they do.
All right.
Super good execution. Solar Mason definitely playing to that top lane really well, getting the free flash, and then even though Alex burned the flash, so that he wouldn't waste as much time, because Malphite did get like pretty far away from the set, being able to close that gap, get the Sejuani passive on him was really good.
And with Malphite going back and getting 2 claws, I assume he is going for that Bramble start again. Really good item into the set, who has the definitely. High HP regen from his passive. He's gonna be building Borg first, and he's gonna have Conqueror all stacked. So there's a lot of healing that the Malphite's gonna want to get rid of.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if Soul Missing goes back top while the flash is burned.
Yeah, but here he is, bot lane.
Oh, burn flash from Deadpool Gambit.
Yep, and
now,
he's gonna be able to get his stun off here. And with the Black Shield, he doesn't actually get rooted by that Senna W.
Yeah, that's a super good Black Shield from...
and they're gonna get another stun off, but a minion blocks the binding.
Yeah, but they still get the Bard a flash for free. I mean, Storyteller did burn both stuns, Legit Camel burned heal.
And the Sejuani did flash.
Yeah. But you get both flashes out
MVP caster minion coming in clutch for the Bard.
Yeah.
He took the L so that the Bard could walk away scot-free.
Yeah, I really like that Black Shield, putting on the Sedge, because everyone talks about like Morgana is like really annoying because you save the 80 carry. But what's even like worse to deal with sometimes is putting it on the tank that's engaging and you just can't stop it.
And I'm looking at the items and I see something. 80 carry rushing tier boots. It's something I am not a fan of. I would much rather see him get the
the
pickaxe first, so that you can at least fight early game.
Yeah.
But it seems like Ezreal's also going to go with the tier item as well, so we're just going to see no damage bot lane.
Is it? He just sold it and he gets the sheen.
And he gets the sheen. He's going to...
this is big brain from Legit Camel.
Yeah, because if you just go for the tier, all you're doing is getting mana, and that's all you're getting. But if you get...
I think right as he bought the tier, Deadpool Gambit showed up in lane, and he saw that he went tier boots. And he's like, he went tier boots, so I'm going to punish it by going for the sheen, which is super smart, because Deadpool Gambit already died, and so tier boots is only 1150 gold. While if you went with pickaxe and a mana crystal, that's 12.25.
Or you could go pickaxe and boots.
Yeah,
and it's only like
that's 25 gold more.
25 gold more. But at least that way you're actually doing more damage.
Yeah, that's a lot more in combat stats.
Yeah.
And now
and as someone like Senna, you're not actually proccing your tier all that often.
Yeah, especially
it's just not as worth. You just kind of want to get the full mana mute item and have that stack it for you, because that stacks it off of your auto attacks.
Yeah.
But here we'll see that the Ezreal gets the Sheen, and he's going to be so much stronger in these early game skirmishes that hopefully they'll be able to catch back up, because they are down quite a bit of CS here.
Yeah, but there's a pretty fat wave in the bot lane, so that'll help legit camel. And that's one of my favorite things about Ezreal, especially with the Sheen. You can Sheen auto last at like pretty much every minion.
Yep. But if Morgana lands a binding, they have so much more follow-up damage with this Sheen than if they just went tier.
Yeah. Mega Man Zero kind of catching pedaling out a little bit. Zed's looking for another top gank. Flash is coming up very soon.
And we have the Jarvan showing mid.
Yeah, but Sesh is up.
But the Lissandra's playing really safe. Feels like he's about to get ganked, and so is giving the respect.
Yeah, that's very good. Yeah, Lissandra actually went for the Lost Chapter. I wonder if he's gonna go for like GOP this game, or if he's just gonna go for Luden's Echo. I mean, he already has the Electrocute. Maybe he goes for Luden's Echo, but I don't know. You can see a lot of different Lissandra build paths. You could go for like really high damage with Luden's Echo. You could go for Rod of Ages. That's a very strong item. Proto Belt is also very good to get Lissandra in there, start being more of a front line. Proto Belt's definitely better when you have Aftershock, so that you can frontline a lot easier.
Yeah, and with that Bramble Vest, he really just makes it where these trades aren't as good for the set as you would think.
Yeah, he has the Cutlass, so at least like when the trade is done, he can lifesteal off the minions.
But with Jarvan showing top, the Sejuani might actually start the Dragon here. They have a lot of vision control.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that because the wards?
And we do see the bot lane roaming up, and here they go. It looks like Jarvan might just be trading the Rift Herald.
Yeah, he's just on the crab right now because they have the Pixel Bush warded for THE, so they know Jarvan is just taking the crab right now. And we'll be looking at the Rift Herald.
Yeah, Alex has had this wave just pushed right here this whole time. And he's...
Yeah, you see it. It's already 20 CS difference at, what, 9 minutes, 40 seconds?
Yeah, but then you look at the bot lane and it's just...
Yeah, it's the opposite.
Yeah, but it's not... Their bot lane hasn't been freezing. I don't know.
Just making it very difficult for the Ezreal to farm, I guess.
They just keep shoving it under turret, and Ezreal's not always the greatest to farm under turret.
Yeah. The thing that, like, I understand, like, Soul Mason just got the dragon, which is really nice, but all of bot lane's flashes are up when it never got actually punished again.
Yeah, Soul Mason really started the game off really well, ganking top lane, ganking bot lane, getting these really early leads for his laners, and then he kind of slowed down and wanted to get back into his farm. But if he had kept that pace up, he might have been able to really snowball.
I mean, he does have 20 CS on the J4, so it's nothing like terrible either. We do see Corki going the tier, so he'll be going the Manu build. Corki does the tier, like procs the tier by itself a little bit better than Senna does, especially with the rockets being on like a 2-second cooldown. Binding land, it's like that's a little chunk of damage. So we'll just have to see. I think we have Cloud Dragon next with Mountain to start. So this soul's either going to be Infernal or Ocean. That's going to be
something we really haven't seen at all, and it's a new look for our league. Generally, it's Mountain, but I'm excited to see what could happen with how many squishy members we see with like the Ezreal, Morgana, the Sandra, Bard. It'd be really cool to see Infernal and just watching people just blow up.
Yeah, with the damage dealing supports. It'd be pretty fun to see.
But we do see the Bard going for the Dead Man's Plate to get that movement speed to walk around the map, collecting his chimes. Really looking for roaming.
Yeah, especially with Ezreal and Set being high damage dealers. Yeah, Ezreal already almost has the Call done. 20 stacks left. The Sanders are going to be going towards Luden's Echo. And Porky already has the tier done. 104 CS, I told me that's pretty good. I think Sejuani also finished the Cinder Hulk while J4 did not.
Yeah, Bard will be building tank items, but he still does plenty of damage. And he's not the tankiest member, even if he is building tank.
Yeah.
He's still just can be blown up pretty quick.
Yeah, I love... oh wow, burning the flash when you already have the black shield on yourself. Like, that was
Yeah, even if you do get hit by that W, you're just gonna walk away with the root. Like you won't get rooted with the black shield.
I would assume that you could let it hit you, and then when it would actually root you, that you could black shield.
He might have black shielded a bit too early, where
it might have timed out.
Black shield might time out, and he knew that, so he's like, all right, I used this at the wrong time. I need to burn my flash.
Yeah, it just gives like another avenue for this PTC comp that already didn't have like a whole lot of ways to engage. But now with Morgana randomly burning flash, that's...
Yeah, and he used his black shield there to like try and block damage from the Senna Q. Whoa.
Oh, good flash from
interrupting
Alex.
the
interrupting the
knockup.
EQ from Jarvan and flashing the Malphite ulti. That was super nice from Alex to dodge away from that gank. Granted, he still burned a flash for free, but a lot of spams.
Up 20 CS, yeah. Just set, get this before it crashes.
No, you can't kill it. He got a lot of the damage off. Even though the Herald on like that first hit still does a lot of damage no matter what the health's at. It still helps a little bit to bring it down to like half HP. But yeah, Cody really hasn't been doing like a whole lot besides just farming. He's still up 20 CS.
Yeah, and he will be really impactful late game in these team fights. He's definitely, it's going to be him and Malphite being the two big tanks this time. Hopefully we can see Alex like split pushing and trying to get a lot of advantages that way. And here we see the set TPing in.
Yeah, Malphite
and the
Malphite afterwards, but Malphite doesn't have.
And the Bard gets stuck by the 200-year root.
Yeah,
it's not that they have 200 years of experience. That's just how long you're rooted for.
Yeah. So it was not terrible. Get a second dragon on the THO would be really nice. Bard definitely could have just like flashed sideways, dodge the binding, and then do the magical journey.
There is a magical journey you can do from like the alcove that gets you all the way back to your turret. It's not the easiest thing to do.
It's not, and it's not like inherently like obvious too.
Yeah,
but
it is still kind of
funny. Once you learn
funny.
about it, it's really nice.
I remember I was doing it. I did it against THE, but Alex was playing Poppy, and he just pounded me into the wall. So, it didn't actually work for me.
But yeah, that third kill was really nice because there was a lot of KP that went around. Like Solo Mason's at 100% KP, and then I think Seth got that kill because he's 2-0.
Yeah, but if we just look at the CS like difference, right? Top lane is really far ahead for THE, but that bot lane, it's falling behind yet again.
Yeah.
Granted, they did buy the cull first, so like the gold isn't as bad, and with burning the flash and the ult to get away there.
Yeah, you kind of need to. Solo Mason was still holding onto his flash, so if he didn't ulti, there was a chance that Alex could have just set ulti and he wouldn't have had
and Sejuani had her ult that whole time, so he really needed to like use all his escape there. And I assume that the black shield must have been on cooldown.
Oh, good stopwatch.
Yeah, but he's still gonna fall here. It's
definitely Gambit just barely gets out alive. So that was a pretty clean dive from PTC, juggling the aggro. Yeah, solid dive.
Yep. And the Bard being able to ult the turret, make it so that you can just
take a lot less damage from the tower and be able to have a couple seconds of being able to free hit the Morgana without worrying about that tower damage coming in. So that was super solid work. Yeah, Big Lots has been playing pretty well this series. Like he looked really good on the Nautilus last game, and He's been utilizing a lot of the bar utility pretty well.
Yeah. Bar got hit by that one binding and was like, screw this, I'm getting murder treads. I'm not letting that happen again.
It's not a fun time. Yeah, now they're almost giving up the...
I mean, they don't have any ults from TG's side here.
Yeah,
like, this should be a free... This should be a really good...
But the
Corki comes in. It might be a bit too late.
Yeah.
They might be trading the Padawan here, but everyone else should be getting out.
Yeah, but Bart is here. Maybe they can finish off Alex after 47. The slows from...
Alex's W might be coming up?
I guess not. Wow, that's a huge trade.
And Cody, not willing to give up Alex to get out himself, turns around to try and slow him.
Yeah.
But just ends up going down at the same time. That looked like a really good fight for THE, but once everyone else on PTC showed up, it was like, oh, everyone's here.
Yeah, especially the Bard. Like, you knew the Corki was coming because of the package sound. But when the Bard showed up, that also turned the tables because throughout like 3 auto attacks that were slowing with the Meeps. But I mean, Solo Mason did jump the Herald to get the first tower down top, and just got this tower. So they are up what, 1,000 gold right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
but getting all those kills on the Corki this early though, it's with how much damage Corki does late game, it's gonna be really hard, especially since he's building that cleanse. Like, he has cleanse, so you can't even just have Lissandra go in.
Yeah,
and
you can hardly
ult.
one-shot him. Yeah. So much it's just like, oh, I get Sej ulted. Okay, I'll just cleanse and Valkyrie away, and now I'm safe. So, I mean, luckily, cleanse doesn't stop the ultimate from set, so maybe they can do like a big combo there. But, and I mean, cleanse is only
the SETI almost hitting.
This doesn't even look like a great scenario for Deadpool Gambit still.
Yeah, the set might still get this, but there's so much slows and roots and...
Oh, he
Set will finally get it, but he has his Conqueror stacked, and his W might be coming up off cooldown. Can't get it off on time, though.
I mean, Corki's up top. And, yeah, because Lissandra's just showing up the top wave.
Yeah, the Bard ulted him there, because he had Bork and his Conqueror stacked. He was going to be healing off of them there for quite a while.
Yeah.
But the Ignite came through.
Yeah, we thought that was like good at that one shot, and then he lived for a couple seconds. It was like, that's crazy. So, I don't know. Yeah, this is a very close game. The gold is dead even right now. But
yeah, but with Alex having most of the gold and not going to be here for this dragon fight,
well, he has teleport up.
Oh, that is true. Do they have a good ward for him to flank? He can.
I mean, Padawan Tano also has teleport up.
They do have a ward in the Tri-Bush by Red's tier 1. He can TP behind.
So like Thunder could too if they want to go for this.
But
it looks like they're just sacking it.
Yeah. I guess there's no ultimate on the set.
No. Oh, there isn't for a little bit?
Oh.
Oh, there. Oh my god.
Cody comes
why
in.
He is Smithy sometimes. Holy cow. That is huge.
All the PTC backed away. Like, oh, Cody's in the area.
Yeah,
we need to, like...
50, but they put it so low health anyways.
Yeah, it was already so low.
Is still getting solo experience. He caught up with farm completely with Corki.
Yeah, this is a huge swing for THG.
Yeah. Literally, this tower's at like 1/3 HP, so now like Seth can knock that down. He got the tier 2
but
up top.
Here comes the Jarvan coming to get the Lissandra. There's no Malphite ult. Baits the Jarvan into going that way, but now he's just walking farther and farther. He can maybe kill the Malphite here.
Oh my god.
The W is coming up soon. Oh, so close.
That was wild. That was a very good bait from Padawan Tano, throwing the E backwards, not taking it, and then Jarvan committing. So that was extremely close. I mean, Padawan Tano hadn't bought in a long time, so
yeah,
pretty sure he was like just sitting on that Luden's Echo and then like.
But he was very close to getting that Malphite there, and if the Malphite goes down and he lands, like, because his W was probably 1 second off.
Yeah, it was very close.
The W killing the Malphite and rooting the Jarvan, the Lissandra passive might actually turn that into a double.
Especially with all this damage built. Like having the Luden's Echo and the Zonias, that passive would have done a lot of damage.
He didn't have the Zonias then, but he did have a lot of the build, like the smaller items.
Yeah, so now
can we see the tier, how close the tiers are for the both 280 carries? 474 and
And 640.
So the Manamune on Senna is pretty close to finishing, but the Ezreal
and that makes
will
sense
catch
because she
up.
bought the tier right away.
Yeah, the Ezreal should be catching up really soon. I'd like to see him like throwing Qs as he's walking the lane, but
yeah, I mean that's what definitely. Wait, this is kind of weird.
There's not. Oh wait, but we got the package coming in.
The claw went so far,
but we have
still his ulti.
Yeah, we have Alex's TP coming to save the Lissandra here.
But Malphite comes in, Malphite TP.
Yeah, but like this is looking really good for TG. Like
yeah, this is really nice. Lissandra is still alive, and the Lissandra passive is putting in a lot of work right now.
Yeah, that is so well played by the solo laners here. And like now that
and then Morgana fighting, and Big Lots accepts his fate.
Big Lots almost saved his life with that double stun, but
that was a 4-for-1, I believe.
Yeah, in a basically a 2v4 for most of that fight.
Yeah, because Double Gambit's just in the top lane just farming, and you have all the carries besides Paduantano up for this Baron. Well, this Baron is just THEs.
Yeah,
that was very well played. I cannot believe that, like, first of all, J4 ulted Lissandra with the claw up. Like, it's not gonna do anything. But the claw was positioned super well by Paduantano to go completely over the wall.
Yeah, he got like over the thickest part of that wall.
Yeah, the Corki package literally did nothing but gap close. So at that point, like, yes, Corki's like big and he's like auto attacking you, but it wasn't the package doing a lot of damage. So this is crazy. Like, all of a sudden, it is a 3,500 gold lead for THE. And yeah, Solar Mason's about to get a Warmog's armor.
And we see that Ezreal is building towards that Death's Dance. So it's going to be even harder to kill him once that item gets out.
Yeah, Aegis of the Legion is actually extremely good against Corki because, like we were talking about, the Corki auto attack does like 80% magic damage and then 20% physical. And so
it blocks both parts of it.
Yes, yeah. So that is very high value against the Corki and against the entire team comp in general because it is very balanced between AP and AD.
We do see the Senna completing the Manamune, so they are a little bit stronger than what they were a little while ago. But TG has the Baron, so PTC really can't force an engage.
You know what's really crazy? So you already have the top tier 2 down for a top, so you don't really need to go top unless it's waves kind of shoving in favor of THE, I think. But bot tier 2 is up, and then the Infernal Soul will be up in 30 seconds for THE. If they can get that, because they already have the Baron pressure, like this mid tower is gonna fall extremely soon.
Yeah, it's just we need to see this Ezreal like throwing his abilities more often because he needs to get this stacked.
Yeah.
Because even if you don't start tier, you should still be able to finish your tier like by around this time.
Yeah, especially by like, even if you don't rush it, by like 20, 21 minutes you should have it. And it's already 25 now. Can we see again what the tier is on for Ezreal?
He was at like 450, so yeah,
it's close, but
he's
it's
getting closer
for this fight.
And the Bard ult hitting nothing but the Dragon, and Set's just soloing out the Corgi all by himself.
He had a Valkyrie flash away, and the J4
and Ezreal is untouched in the back of this fight.
Gambit is on the top side, and he's not doing any damage in this fight at all. He'll only be able to throw up a couple autos. J4 is dead, and Big Lots is dead with Mega Man 0 at 1 HP. So there is no way that they get this. Good Black Shield, and the Zonias from Paduantano.
Oh, the flash over the wall, and they're gonna get the ace.
Holy
and they still have Baron. They still have Baron. They can push this to get at least 1 or 2 towers.
Yeah, you could.
They might even get the inhib. Well, they do have the Jarvan and the Bard coming up. Granted, they're not the strongest members.
Yeah, but Ezreal's got to have the tier done now, I would think. It is, 729. So he'll have it by the time that they want to knock on that inhib tower. Yeah, this is a series we got in our hands. This is a huge lead for TG. Like a little over 6,000. And everyone on THE has a lot of gold in their pocket.
The big thing about Infernal Soul too is like it's really good on Ezreal.
Oh yeah.
He's just gonna it just makes his poke even more like menacing.
Yeah,
like you're just gonna get hit by one.
2,000 gold right now. So he's gonna have that Death Stance release soon. It's gonna be so hard to kill him, and his Poke's doing
How much is
crazy
Death
damage.
Stance? It's like 34?
34.
36? I think it's 36.
Someone can check on that with Twitch chat. But I mean, Aegis is 1100.
Yeah, and so if he sells the Cull here, I bet he just is going to clear this red buff, and with that he might have enough gold to get the Death Stance.
Yeah, and then Solar Mason is almost on the Gargoyle Stoneplate, so that'll be really crazy. When he gets that, he's gonna be so tanky. Like, he can just like sit frontline and then tank a bunch of damage. Even if he goes low, just wait a couple seconds. Warmogs will heal him back up to full.
Yep, so he sells the Cull, waits a little while to get the gold, and gets the Death Stance.
Yep.
I would like to see the blue trinket coming out from Ezreal or Lissandra. It's something when I play AD carry that I always forget to do, but it is something we need to mention here.
Yeah, I find it ironic when other people play AD carry. Especially on AD carry, I think it's extremely valuable to have blue ward. And every time I play AD carry, it's like the first thing I think about. And it's always like you're level 8 and you're like 99% to level 9. And then next time you bait, you're like level 11.
Yeah, but like this late into the game, you should definitely have it. Granted, they're not the ones face checking and trying to get into the Baron. And that's why you do see it on PTC side.
Yep. But yeah, Corgi is still not the most fed. He doesn't have a rapid fire cannon done, but Morgana has the Redemption and the Zhonya's done. And if you look at Bard's build, he has like the Kirk Shard thing and a dagger, so he's gonna be going towards that rapid fire cannon too, which is one of my favorite items on Bard. Get that enhanced auto attack for the extra range on the Meep empowered auto,
so that you can get that slow.
Yeah.
It's not something I normally go for. I generally just throw my ult out to get into range, but
especially when you're this far behind. Like, when you're this far behind, the feeds would be like extremely good.
Especially when you're up against like this really strong Lissandra that's basically one-shotting your backline.
Yeah, like he already has the Andrews finish too.
Yeah, and you also have this Ezreal that is putting out a lot of magic damage, and to top it off, you even have a mage support. Granted, the Morgana's not doing that much damage, but like it is still magic damage that you'd be reducing
especially with the
Fiends.
Infernal Soul. Like, so do we know? Does Infernal Soul, is that just adaptive damage, or is Infernal Soul always AP damage or AD damage that it applies?
I honestly don't know. I just know it does extra damage based on when you hit something.
I would think it's adaptive based on the.
Okay, it is adaptive.
Yep. So yeah, but now we have the Baron is up right now. Elder's in 2 minutes. I mean, THE should just think that, like, with being up 5 towers to 2, you're up 6 kills, and with the items that you have, you could honestly just start the Baron and have Lissandra like sitting in the back and be ready to claw over and like start a fight. And it's the same thing with Sejuani. Sejuani can easily just jump over and start a fight. Ezreal can do the same thing. So.
Yeah. And we can see Alex is actually 2 levels up on this top matchup. And we saw that trade that he went for. He went for the E, got like a bunch of auto attacks off, and then lands his W. Wins the trade super hard. He can then get his health back off the minions. And eventually he's just going to wear this Malphite down and just start getting all these towers.
Yeah, I know Miles is saying, like, they're playing pretty soul, like, when you have Infernal Soul, what are you scared of? But
yeah, they're just waiting for this Baron. So they're just waiting to drag PTC out of their turrets, because fighting under a turret is the only way that they could theoretically lose these next fights.
Yeah, so that's kind of just ignoring the Malphite. But the thing that I was thinking about, which kind of sucks a little bit, but THE hasn't had a lot of gold leads, like pretty much any gold lead in the circuit this late in the game. So for other teams, they might recognize, like, oh yeah, we are extremely confident. Maybe THE isn't, but they should be feeling like really well. Like, they can just freely walk in the jungle, take the stuff, and maybe they're just waiting on the Elder Dragon, because Elder Dragon ends the game a lot faster than Baron does.
Yeah, and even if they are playing it slow, it is just increasing their lead more and more, because they're getting all of their camps, they're getting all of red side's camps. So they are like slowly increasing their lead over and over. And as soon as they feel confident enough in their gold lead, they're gonna engage and start winning these fights some more.
Yeah.
But it looks like
Yeah, it looks like Big Lot's disconnected.
Yep, we have a disconnection on PTC.
So yeah, they can relax for a little bit. They probably have a little bit of adrenaline rushing.
So I guess my question to you is what is the ideal fight for PTC here? How do they get back on this game?
So honestly, it's a tiny bit difficult because of one thing, and like Corky had to go cleanse before. Cleanse is like really important. But what normally would be really good is if Corky had teleport, then you can sit Corky in a side lane, wait for THE to start an objective like the Elder or the Baron, and then at that point, bases once it's like half out, and then you get the package, and then you can fight, because you can always fight with the package.
All right, we're back in, and they're already on the Elder Dragon.
Yeah, Malphite is TPing in, and Corky's not even there. Corky's showing mid right now at like the tier 2 tower. But I don't think
we see the big hard ulti, but like...
Oh, I have a big ulti and a big J4 combo, but
it's just
isn't getting hit at all.
Yeah, the problem is that Ezreal can just sneak right out of Malphite.
Comes in, and Corky's doing a little bit of damage. Corky did flash away. And
it's just the
Ezreal just died to the package, but everyone else, like at the front end of that fight, is just super low.
And the Ezreal is almost untouched during this whole fight.
Yeah.
And with that, they can just go topside and end through there because the wave is pushed.
Yeah.
So it looks like we're getting a game 3.
Yeah.
Because this should be the end.
Yeah. This is definitely gonna be the end. They know they got the wave top lane, and they're all just walking by. And yeah, and you didn't need the teleport for that scenario. It was good for Corky to sit on the package when the Elder Dragon came up, recognizing that THE wanted that. And to be honest, it was a pretty good engage, but you just didn't get onto the Ezreal.
Yep. But like we said, it's not that they weren't that confident about how far ahead they were. They were just waiting for an objective to drag PTC out of their base so that they could get them there.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about the Elder Dragon being on the blue side is because the entrances are like coming in this way, that it's really obvious when PTC needs to come in and fight. But it definitely could have been like Malphite ulti, Arcane Shift out, and then you could have like Cataclysm the Ezreal and then package right over it. That could have been nasty.
But like we have that huge Bard ult, and the Malphite goes in right away after, but you just have the Ezreal able to just get his E off right away. It's just Ezreal is so safe that it's so hard to find these comebacks against him, especially when you also have like the Morgana there to help him as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this damage chart is crazy. Alex put in a lot of work this game. So, yeah, that was a really intense game too. We'll probably take another 10-minute break or so and be back really soon for game 3 of this really intense match.
I'm excited. All right, welcome back. I'm excited for this game 3. It's like the second one of the circuit.
Yeah, second game 3 this circuit that we've had. Both times I've been casting this week and then week 2, so maybe it's just the burn victim curse.
Maybe. We'll see.
But yeah, that was a really intense game. It was very close for quite a bit of the game. Alex just put in a lot of work. We saw it with the damage chart, and similar to game 1, how PTC picked a very solid comp, knew how to execute it, and executed it well. Exact same thing with THE. They had Ezreal and Morgana just kind of playing safe, but when Sedge did come down there, it was awesome because Morg binding lasts forever, and that set up gank assist really well. And they're definitely able to get Alex far ahead on that set.
Mm-hmm.
So
now this whole last game, there's a lot of questions about what's going to happen. Is there going to be an Ezreal ban so that you can try and snowball your bot lane again?
Yeah. Or we're going to see maybe even 3 mid lane bans out of PTC, considering that they were banning Lux and Nico both games, and Paduantano looked pretty good on the Lissandra. He almost 1v2'd in the top lane. So
and he looked good on the Diana as well, but
yeah,
he wasn't able to carry as hard that time.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Do we expect a set pick from THE's side, or do we let them go through? Give it to PTC so that THE can get the Jarvan.
I would think that THE is okay with getting Jarvan and another strong pick if PTC goes for set right away, because I think it's easier to have a snowbally set if it's in the top lane rather than the jungle. Whether or not set is better in one lane or the other, hard to tell, but it's easier for a set to snowball when you're already when the enemy laner has flash down and you're up a kill. It's really easy to punish that as the top lane set.
Yeah. So my guesses for this week, or this ban phase, is we're gonna have the Lux, Nico, and maybe Ezreal for PTC's side, and we'll see the Aphelios, the Orianna, and maybe the set. I don't know. I don't know what TH's third ban's gonna be, but
yeah. And the thing that I wish I paid attention to a little bit more was how much was the Morgana black shielding the Sejuani in the set that were going in and throwing in the really good engages, because maybe that's a viable ban. It's Storyteller's favorite champion to play, and if you throw the black shield on the engage and you just can't deal with it and they just run right into you, it's extremely difficult to play around. So maybe that gets a ban. It all just comes down to how many power picks do you think there are, and considering that TG is red side, they could throw away a fake ban in which they're banning away something kind of random, but the whole purpose is
to leave one of those really good picks so that they can get 2 of them instead of just 1.
Yeah.
And it looks like PTC is going to be on blue side this time.
Yeah. So wouldn't be really surprised if in the second ban phase we see another singed ban. Unfortunately, it probably won't come out today, but I don't know. You can dream. I mean, this is the game to do it if they don't ban it.
Who knows? Maybe Alex will just first pick it.
Yeah,
probably not. I don't think Singed is something you can just blind pick.
I don't think Alex's thing on his account is Singed has no counters. It seemed like Singed doesn't really do well into Teemo or Darius. And is that in Megan Fox's champion pool? I don't know, but probably if we see Singed, it definitely would be the last pick on the red side.
I think Shen is also a pick that we haven't seen yet, but could really do well. He got some pretty decent buffs, and he was already a really strong pick, and he's got really good map pressure and split push with his ultimate, being able to move around the map so much.
Yeah, Alex plays Shen pretty well. There's a scrim where played Shen and just could not, the enemy laner could not match him in the side lane. So now all of a sudden you're winning the side lane, and then you're ulting, and then you're winning the team fight. Shen just has so much map pressure. It's just really crazy. So,
all right, here we go. Getting into draft phase.
Do we see
the Lux right away? Oh, we're doing it again.
Profit is super thick. They're taking their time.
Taking their time. Maybe they're still thinking about swapping it up.
I don't know. The Lux from Padawan is still very scary, but it's Ezreal now, so.
I did say Lux, Nico, Ezreal, so that's still my top 3. So
yeah, it's still possible.
It's still possible.
Aphelios was assumed. But
otherwise, we could see a set ban here. But
maybe. Jig and Jake likes playing set though.
Yeah.
So I would think that.
I feel like they would leave it up to try and first pick it.
I mean, PTC has picked Senna both games like first rotation. I don't know if that's on THE's mind for a ban.
Never pick a fight you can't
I guess
win.
they will
set.
ban set. And Nautilus comes out. That's still a very solid ban.
And there's Nico. So they're like trying to get Padawan to play as Lux.
Yeah, they must be thinking that they have a counter to it somehow. Does TG get baited into it?
Here's a question for you. How well does Kog'Maw go into the Lux matchup?
Kog'Maw definitely is fine with that matchup because you outrange it at level 11. The laning phase is also like extremely even because yes, the Lux E can hit. Okay, now we're all freaking out because we see the Singed hover.
Will he do it?
I don't think it's coming right now. He's just trying to bait us.
I would love to see it. Alex's Singed is pretty crazy, but yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know if he will blind pick him.
A Xayah pick. This is really nice.
It
Xayah's
could be Xayah Rakan.
I would think you'd just pick Rakan right here then. But Morgana is still up. But would you...
Yeah, you don't really want to give him Caitlyn Morgana. That is a really hard laning phase to play against.
That is super true. I think the Morgana should just come out here right now. Yeah, super smart.
And so...
Not to mention, like, the Bard, like, counter pick, like, didn't even do that much.
Mm-hmm.
Like... Yeah, that's
really hard to say what you would pick into here. I would say probably... I expect maybe like a Braum or Tahm Kench. I don't really know how his champ pool works, but I'm pretty sure he does play Braum.
I feel like he should just go for like Karma right here. Because Karma doesn't really get countered by Morgana really. And it's another lane dominant support to shove in bot lane, get pressure for dragon stuff. Gragas technically is a flex pick, but it's probably going in the jungle. It's kind of weird to pick Gragas right here, though.
Alistar's a really interesting pick here. Because just like the Nautilus, you like have a very telegraphed...
Yeah, when you see that headbutt, it's really easy to just black shield that person. And especially with Xayah already on the table.
And I would love to see Solo Mason pull out his Kha'Zix here. He's been on tank duty for so long.
Yeah, and he loves the champion. He's been playing it a lot.
And he's on tank duty again.
Yeah.
Actually, hold up. That could be top lane Volibear.
It is a flex.
It is a flex.
Oh, yeah. Okay. This was a huge Yasuo telegraphed comp. I totally forgot about this.
And there goes the Singed pick, ban. It's out of
Hey,
there.
at least Singed is 100% pick ban against THE.
But they also didn't pick their Lux in the top 3. So now I assume this will be a Lux ban. Try and force Padawan onto something else.
Yeah, that's what I would think. I'm not going to lie. I totally actually would have rather have Mega Man pick the Yasuo instead of the Alistar, because there are like other knockup champions you can play. Like all you need is Yasuo Gragas. It is really easy.
And they're still just saying, go ahead, play your Lux, Padawan.
Yeah, they still don't care. They must think that they have some really good counter matchup into it. I don't know.
I assume they'll blind pick the Lux here. And they just go back to the Lissandra anyway.
Yeah, it was pretty solid. It's very safe. You're a lot more mobile than the Lux.
So then do we just see the salty run back with the Corgi, or does he swap it up and go in with that Azir that we were talking about last game?
I would still prefer the Azir. Corgi's not bad. I just think Azir can punish Lissandra early better. But we'll see. Yeah, they definitely really wanted the Yasuo this game.
There's Shen.
I'm trying to think what else is left top
Ooh,
lane.
I would love to see Mega Man's Malzahar.
Malzahar would be pretty good into Lissandra. I mean, you can like ult once the Malzahar ult is finished.
You
I'm
have
not
a
gonna-
very low damage team though. If you pick Malz here, I think I do think you need like a mage that'll.
That's like Syndra beats Lissandra like kind of, but Lissandra you can just ulti the.
So what
Ulti
is
the ult.
Alex's counter? I think Mordekaiser's probably coming here. You can ult the Shen when he's ulting, and then he can't actually TP to where he's going.
Aatrox would be pretty solid. Aatrox does well into Shen. I haven't seen Alex's Aatrox in a long time.
I mean, he still plays it quite a bit.
Yeah, Alex is like Impact when he was on Cloud9. He used to be like a tank player. Now he plays everything. He plays carry super well. He plays tanks really well. So yeah, this is definitely interesting team comps on both sides because bot lane from THE is very safe, but it's not like PTC's bot lane has like a lot of priority because you have Alistar into Morgana. So you can't really engage. At that point, you're just like headbutting Aatrox and Volibear away. So,
but you can't headbutt them away if you just have that spell shield on that Aatrox running through the whole team fight.
Yeah.
So I assume that THE is going to play through topside yet again. Try and get Alex snowballing so that they can get this black shield on this huge brawler that's just 1v9ing team fights.
Especially because post 6 you can't even like fight bottom because of the Shen. So you either have to...
Yeah, and then another good lane that I think they can gank is the mid lane. The Syndra with low mobility, and then Lissandra can come in with a root, and then the Volibear comes in with a stun.
Yeah.
Syndra will probably run cleanse this game, but
100%.
if you come in once, burn it, and then you can just regank over and over again, and it's going to be a really hard matchup for Syndra to actually survive.
Yeah, Syndra does well into like the Volibear-ish with stunning and pushing the Volibear away, but if Lissandra jumps on you, there's like nothing you can do. You go from not in EQ range of Syndra to all of a sudden you're right on top of Syndra. So,
and honestly, the Volibear can even still gank bot lane too. If say the Alistar goes to headbutt him away, but Morgana's fast enough and puts that black shield on, all of a sudden the Alistar's just right next to the Volibear. He's going to get stunned. He's going to get rooted by Morgana, and he's going to be rooted by Xayah, and by that time he's going to be dead.
Yeah.
Especially pre-6.
I'm not going to lie, I don't like this Syndra pick at all, to be honest. You're immobile, and then the other carry that you want to be ulting is Xayah, and Xayah can ulti that, go and remove all that damage. So
Xayah can ult your ult, and Lissandra can ult your ult. So it's really hard for the Syndra to actually get her damage off.
Yeah, at that point you're like hoping that you can one-shot Aatrox, but
it's Aatrox. He's gonna have a death dance. He's just gonna lifesteal it all back up. So I do like THE's draft here a little bit better, but maybe they're picking comfort picks on.
Yeah, because that was what I was thinking. Is like the reason that you're picking, or like that I like THE's draft isn't because they drafted like super well. It was just like kind of weird picks from PTC. Like the Alistar gets countered like really hard, and like so does the Syndra. And granted, like you can still, if you like if you QE on Syndra, there's still stun enough time you can ulti. But most of the time when you want to get a high value ulti off, you'll go like QEW, have another Q, and then you have like 5 balls on the Syndra ulti.
Yeah, when you just pick Xayah Morgana as your first 2 picks, it's like, well, what do you pick now as a support? It's really hard. Like, you can't really pick Engage into that comp. So I would, like, the Karma was a good choice. I personally would have gone with like Brand this game, being like, yeah, I'll just poke you out with the Caitlyn, and we're just gonna push you out and get advantages with this early game power that we have.
Not gonna lie, you know what would have been really nice to see? Instead of the Syndra, it would have actually been a really good Kog'Maw game. Like, it is, besides Lissandra, it's hard for them to jump out of the Kog'Maw because Volibear can only run at you, and same with Aatrox.
And you can just throw your slow
field, and it doesn't slow for like a whole lot, maybe like 30 or 40%, but it lasts there for a long time, and it covers a very long distance. And so when you get like phase rush, you're running fast, and eventually you're just outranging everybody. Like level 11, It does quite a decent amount of damage, and the range is pretty good. But then if the
And
game
we
gets
don't
to
even
level
see the
16
cleanse from Syndra.
Wow, that should be a red flag, or like more like a green flag for Soul, man. So he's like, yeah, Syndra
That's just like
doesn't
a
have
homing missile.
Yeah.
It's like
Syndra doesn't
incoming
have
Volibear.
cleanse.
Incoming Volibear. Watch out.
If she doesn't get Merc Treads like super early this game, it's gonna be a rough time. Cause you can just
Jig and Jig has to like stay
one-shot.
by mid lane this whole game to make sure that this Syndra is not just getting.
Yeah, cause like Syndra behind doesn't even do like that much damage. It's still Syndra, but it's already a very tough game for Syndra, and now without cleanse, you're making it even more tough. So
And with those like recent E nerfs where the cooldown is up, if she ever uses that in lane to like
True.
try and poke, that's just like a huge time frame for that Volibear to come and try and put this lane in their favor.
yeah, it's pretty much the same concept as like Zed Shadow. Whenever you see a Zed Shadow get used,
30
it's just
seconds
like,
until
okay,
minions
he doesn't
spawn.
have it, he's super immobile. Same thing with Scatter the Weak. If you ever use Scatter the Weak in lane to try to like proc, like he doesn't even have electrocute, he has phase rush. So I guess he's running faster, lacking damage, but I still think the cleanse is like really needed. You pretty much need cleanse all the time against Lissandra, because the snare on the W goes from like 1 to 1.5 seconds or something, and then
Minions have spawned.
the ulti snares or stuns for a decent amount of time. And like you still have a Morgana this game, so you can't even cleanse a Morgana snare because you don't have cleanse. So hopefully we'll see Mega Man you get value out of the teleport then. Teleporting bottom or something.
We got Alex. He's probably going to get a couple Qs off here. Oh,
Gets a shield off, protect himself.
nothing much happening.
Got a nice Hextech Alistair skin. Good. The new Pool Party Syndra skin.
One of the worst Victoria skins they ever released. It's just a car Aatrox. Except
Pretty much. Good dash from Padawan on the Q, I believe, just getting hit by autos. But
yeah, we're gonna see that one a lot. Just
Yeah.
the Alistar getting.
hit by a black shield, yeah. Yeah, Graga started red.
Yep, red went to
Raptors.
Raptors, and we have Cody clearing the whole side.
Yeah, they just hit level 2, and TG bot lane is still level 1, giving good respect to that. So, yeah, I would hopefully, even though Mega Man doesn't have cleanse, and you think that's like a green flag for Valdo, which it is, like you still have the Shen on the team, and you need to give a lot of respect unless you're ganking the Shen. That post 6, he could always come.
But it is an Aatrox. Aatrox can like has so many CCs to actually interrupt the teleport.
Yeah.
Or the shield.
Yeah, and sometimes if it's like just for survivability, the shield is all you need. So that'll be something like maybe we see in their comms would be, oh, Shen is ulting. Do you even want to cancel it?
Yeah,
like,
so-
are you guys out?
Yeah.
Or because if you let him finish the Shen R, then Alex will get just like a bunch of free time.
We have the Volibear coming in onto the Syndra right off the bat, but
Yeah,
a
good
nice
scatter of the week.
interruption on the claw. Make it so that he doesn't die there.
Yeah, but Syndra has no mana, and that's like the issue with Syndra right now. Syndra practically forced to go Biscuits to gain more mana regen because of the Q nerfs. He's using the Syndra Q pretty...
He is still up like a whole wave of farm.
Yeah, as long as he gets all this, which he probably should.
Neither of them have any mana, so...
Yeah,
I mean,
and it's
we
just
do
a-
see Alex getting another decently sized lead already as well. But
Yeah, it's already 8
then again, you look at that bot lane, and it's already like 10 CS somehow.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they did shove that in pretty well. Kaylin did hit level 2 first, and they got the wave like under the tower. At that point, you just need to hope that the THE bot lane CS well on the tower.
And Alex getting
dangerously low in a very awkward position.
If he Q flash,
wow!
Oh, but the Shen flashes it too. Dodges the center part of the Aatrox Q.
Yeah, that was a super good flash from Shen, and all of a sudden, yeah, this is a really nice lead. The main part that you want to be camping just took a solo kill. So now Cody's kind of thinking to himself like, what do I do? Shen's gonna be up on Aatrox, but if you go anywhere else, Shen is just gonna join in, and that solo kill experience is a lot. So he'll definitely be hitting 6 quicker than Aatrox will be.
Yep, and he instantly buys the Bramble Fest to stop all this healing from the Aatrox. So it's gonna be even harder now for the Aatrox to start snowballing his lead that he, well, not even a lead anymore, but.
This super good combo. This is what bot lane should always look like.
Yeah, as soon as the Alistar goes in, you just put the Black Shield down, land the Binding, and you just get so much poke. I would like to see that the Volibear try and re-gank mid lane again at some point this game.
Gragas is hovering. I wonder if he's actually going to go in or not. It looks like he's just backing up to... Not even sure what. There's nothing up on the top side. But I guess if Lissandra has R, which she does, and if she has Claw, it's not the easiest to gank a Lissandra.
Yeah, we have the Volibear trying to invade the blue side jungle of Gragas, but it's already been all cleared out. So, but it does give information to THE saying, hey, Gragas is bot side.
Yeah,
granted, he just put the plant on, so they know exactly where he is, but...
Yeah, bot lane's up 12 CS now. Interesting. Otherwise, not a whole lot of action. I mean, it is a 600
Yeah,
gold
this
lead.
definitely is going to be a lot of a slower game, where it's going to take a while. They're trying to all get all their ultimates, so then they can look for a fight. But we do see the Volibear mid lane yet again, hoping that the Lissandra can get an ult off.
Yeah, Lissandra already burned the teleport. Syndra still has hers up. So, yeah, Lissandra just based for mana, and then the boots and the Amp Tome. Yeah, Lissandra's actually down a lot of CS. 15 right now. The wave was kind of in a neutral spot. Lissandra has a lot of minions coming back at her.
Yeah, so the Syndra first buys a Fairy Charm. That could... most likely that's going to be just sold, because it is this a really good item that you can buy early game, and this resell value is just like really worth it.
I'm not going to say I'd be surprised if she goes tier, but it's I wouldn't do it this game, because against Lissandra, kind of like this, you just want to bully her, but she gets the ulti off, so she doesn't really take that much damage, which is
Yeah,
nice.
it's just kind of, well, it is a trade of ultis, so now it just makes the gank, if they do try and gank her again, there's not as much crowd control, so it just makes it safer for her in lane to trade ultis.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, most likely this Fairy Charm is just going to be like holding on to it because of the Q nerfs early, and just trying to keep bullying the Lissandra, but of selling it eventually, because it like costs only 125 and that sells for like 85. So
it looks like THE's just
mana pump.
giving this dragon here.
Yeah, just it's an Ocean, which is pretty nice, but they're not really in position to capitalize on it, and that's like what you get with the winning bot lane. Like, even though it is the Alistar has the mobility boots and maybe get some vision down, but I guess that's just the Caitlyn pushing in the bot lane of THG pretty hard, getting bot lane pressure for the dragon. Pretty nice from Jig and Jig to call and start that out.
No,
top lane is up a lot of CS.
I'm kind of surprised that the Volibear is out farming the Gragas. He did try and gank a couple more lanes, and you just think that the Gragas is like got a faster wave or like jungle clear with all his AoE abilities,
Yeah, but that was also they traded for the dragon for it, so it takes up like a little bit of time. If he was down like 2 more camps, I'd be like kind of scratching my head. Otherwise, I would think that Gragas should have. Runic Gecko's done soon, considering Volibear already has the Cinderhawk done. Yeah, because like Volibear's like pretty much only been farming this entire time. There was the one top or the one mid lane gank, and besides that, just been staying in the jungle, which isn't terrible. Because I don't know, both teams do a pretty good job for like scaling purposes. Syndra does really well like at most all stages of the game, and so does Gragas. Shen like kind of falls off. Yeah.
This is the closest the bot lane has been in any of the 3 games. Only a 7 CS lead from PTC's side. But then if we look at the mid lane, that's probably the biggest gap we've seen out of all the games. Where Brett has just really been farming really well on this Syndra.
Wait, there's a full combo and Padawan didn't even ulti the Syndra R. He like really wanted to use that on this his ulti on the Syndra, but couldn't get distance of it because of the phase rush. So that's kind of nice. If Volibear came in, couldn't really do anything. At least Cody's looking though. He knows that he wants to come mid lane because mid has no cleanse. Yeah, it just sucks. If Padawan ultis himself, you're like sacking the gank, but because you didn't, you lost all your health and you're the base. Now all of a sudden the mid lane CS is 22, but top lane is still 30. So I guess even getting solo killed, like Alex doesn't care. He's still up a lot.
Yeah, just finishing that Black Cleaver too. Pretty decent power spike for him right now. Once he gets that second item though, is really when he starts becoming this like unkillable beast.
Like Death Stance second most of the time?
Yeah.
And that's another solid game for Death Stance. You have 80 top, jungle's AP, mid is AP, and then bot lane is AD.
And another thing is like normally Shen players will go for a Tiamat so that they can like actually split push and like clear all these waves, and it gives them all. It's a really good item for him because of how many times he actually auto attacks as well.
Yeah.
Because if his Q gives him like attack speed, if he like dashes through someone, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But so yeah, he's just gonna be getting shoved in because he doesn't have this Tiamat to help clear all these waves.
Yeah.
Sure, Sunfire helps, but it's not the same.
Yeah, I would have almost rather just see like a Tiamat with a Bami Cinder, because at least Bami Cinder helps a lot with still damage and health. Like it's still a solid item, but you like rush the tabbies and an additional cloth armor, completely sacking any way of trying to shove Alex back.
Yeah, so the split push should be mostly in the favor of Aatrox for like this whole game until that Shen like tries.
Yeah, Shen is pretty low, so they can't help with its Earth Herald, so they're pretty much stacking it. But yeah, bot lane is still down quite a bit of CS, looks like 25 right now. And the Dragon is coming up in 30 seconds, but Volibear should be able to base and get back to this, I would think. I mean, Alex has TP, Shen has TP and ulti.
So the Gragas is invading the blue because they heard the Volibear take the Herald.
Well, maybe they're just gonna look to.
Yeah, they should just put down the Rift Herald here. They're gonna get first tower for this Aatrox and really just try snowballing him.
That's really good. Right before plates fall off, and Alex is gonna get this entire tower down. So yes, they're gonna be sacking the dragon, but it's kind of worth, to be honest. Yeah.
All right, what are we gonna see? Mountain?
It'll probably be Cloud. I don't want to see Cloud, and
it is Cloud.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they get Cloud on pretty much both of these teams like really like Cloud. Morgana doesn't really care, but otherwise, and Caitlyn doesn't really care. But everyone else like really likes the Cloud Dragon for the cooldown.
I mean, on TAG's side though, you got the Xayah ult for survivability. You have
Lissandra
ult for survivability, and then you have Aatrox ult. That is just huge for team fights.
Okay, so we see gold right now. We see is that
600 gold in the jungle? It's a 1300 gold lead in the top lane.
Holy cow. Yeah, 80 carry for the Deadpool Gambit's up like 500 and like 400 for mid. But yeah, that top lane gold differential is crazy.
That's even with the Shen getting the solo kill on Alex.
Yeah, so yeah, if that didn't happen, then Shen is just down 400 gold, and he would be down 1700 gold right now, so crazy.
Yeah, I agree. The Grigus not really putting any pressure on any of the lanes. At this point, it's really hard, though, to gank at least bot lane. And Lissandra can always just try and get out as well.
The thing that's nice about Gragas, though, for the bot lane is if you target the Morgana, yes, Morgana can alter yourself or black shield yourself, but the Gragas Q does a lot of damage. So you could pretty much just throw the Q, and if they black shield, they black shield it. If they do, then the explosive cast is easy and will kill the Morgana for sure, or burn a flash. But yeah, like Twitch Chat was saying, if you just we have a fight now.
Yep, Alex instantly T-Pain to help
good
this.
Caitlyn traps to help, but it was a good.
And there's the Shen ult to counter it.
Yeah, Shen does have flash, so watch out for
we
the
have
flash
Syndra roaming first as well.
And he doesn't respect flash, the Shen flash. And now he just all of a sudden dies, but Shen is getting brutally low, gets ignited, but the shield is going to come in and help him out.
We have the Volibear coming from the side right now.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like they can really do anything else.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why Blue Chicken Hammer wouldn't respect flash the Shen. And lost a life for free because of it. Like, good play by PTC then to recognize, like, yeah, Morgana wasn't there, so they went in, traded Alistar ult for Xayah. Yeah, definitely Xayah would have lived if you just like.
Yeah, the top wave lane, or the top wave though, it looks like it's been frozen there for quite a while. Aatrox is now up almost 50 CS on the Shen.
Wow, yeah, and like he has Warhammer and Aegis. And granted, he only has tier 1 boots while Foxy has tier 2 boots. But Megan Fox is still only sitting on Bramble, Bommies, and Chain Vest. So Alex is feeling really, really good. And for the rest of the map that like doesn't have armor builds, besides like Alistar is inherently really tanky and has an Aegis, like Alex could really rip through like Gragas or Syndra if they make any misstep. Say they use Body Slammer or Explosive Cast and they don't get Alex off him, or if the Scatter of the Weak doesn't hit Alex.
Alex might probably also just start building tank after he finishes 2 items. Get like a Spirit Visage, really increases healing. Maybe get some armor so he doesn't just get absolutely one-shot by these Caitlyn traps.
Well, and Caitlyn traps are like doing a lot of damage. We see a fight and like Big Lots is kind of just sacrificial lamb right here. Good Morgana binding.
His ultimate, even though he did live a long time, is not enough to fend off against 5 people, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Maybe back in the good old days when it was like 70% of all damage guaranteed.
Yeah, I think it's only like 50% now, I think.
I think you just get resistances.
I mean, at that point, it's just like still plate at this point. So that's why Alistar hasn't done like a super high priority pick. But the Cloud Dragon is up and they're not. Oh no, it's up in 20 seconds. It's up in 20 seconds.
So they just shove mid lane. And then they already cleared all the wards, so.
Yeah, good solid vision. Shen is basing.
They're actually waiting in this bush to see if someone's going to come face check them.
I don't know if there's. Is there vision in the Dragon Pit though?
There's not.
I would think that they swept it out.
It's red warded. The THE has a red ward in the pit. And he doesn't have
ulti. But they should really kill try to kill him right away.
Padawan barely getting his ult off.
And he can flash out, but Deadpool Gambit does get the headshot and kills him. So
not really on the same page from THE there.
Yeah, they thought they had the damage to kill the Alistar when they really didn't.
Well, half the team rotated to Dragon while half the team still kind of waited in that bush to try and get that pick.
Yeah.
And now a Dragon that should have really been theirs now is going over to PTC.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he flashed out of the Caitlyn trap. I think he just got headshotted by...
No, the Caitlyn trap was underneath the ultimate. He's just able to flash as he got rooted.
Yeah, like instantly. Oh, so he still got rooted because it was under him, but
yeah,
he flashed.
He was able to still flash.
Interesting.
On like frame 1 or something.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a weird interaction.
But yeah, the Lissandra Claw was relatively bold. It was looking almost like really bad. I almost didn't think that Padawan would be able to get his ulti off, but he somehow did at the last second, healed off a little bit. But Alistar still lives. And the thing is even if Alistar dies there, that's still a good trade for PTC, and they would still probably get the Dragon. Because Lissandra...
Yeah, I think if you're going to do that wait in a bush strat, you want someone who's not Alistar there.
Yeah, if you catch someone out that's less tanky, like if it's Gragas who's pretty squishy, then it's a lot better idea. But when you see Alistar, it's like, it's not worth it to go in this way. So we see gold is in favor of...
Still in favor of THE.
That's probably just top lane. Can we see gold again? He's got to be up...
Almost 2,000 or over 2,000.
2,300? That is ridiculous.
The jungle, Solo Mason's actually up almost 800 as well.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Mid lane is down 1,200, and
Bot lane's
ADK is
down
down
1,000.
But yeah, Alex pretty much all by himself. Like, he didn't really get a whole lot of jungle assistance, and he's up 70 CS. So pretty solid from Alex so far. Not needing assistance or resources.
Yeah, we also have this Predator, Gragas. I don't know if I've even seen him use Predator yet.
Good point. I really don't think so either. Predator's on such a short cooldown.
And the Gragas getting caught out here.
Yeah, you gotta get stunned.
Actually dies before the Shen actually gets there.
So that's super nice. That's a super good.
Or maybe he was interrupted by the Aatrox. I don't.
It could have been, but
it would have been close.
The timer was still the same. Like, even if it didn't get interrupted, then he went to finish it off. The ignite and the ulti was really good for Morgana, and I'm honestly extremely surprised that Gragas even won Sword Shoot this game.
They're going for this thing.
Yeah, they turned off the tower. But Aatrox, okay, they got the teleport.
Yeah,
so they got
Shen does have like 200 armor though. So even though Aatrox is really far ahead, it's still gonna take so long to burn through that Shen.
Yeah, the escape was super good. Like, Aatrox like flashed, and even though the flash didn't go over the tower, he dashed over the wall, and then Volibear flashed over, got the teleport, and then because of that bot lane play, everyone rotated bottom. And Xayah got the mid tower and then lives through the explosive cast.
And that's just a miscommunication between the bot lane of THE. The Gragas throwing the barrel or the ultimate, and Morgana black shielding the AD carry, and then also using her ultimate to dodge it.
Luckily, the black shield's not on a super high cooldown where like it matters not like an ultimate does.
It's just you don't need to use the Xayah ultimate there to dodge it when you already have the black shield on you.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the black shield on right away. I thought the black shield came on like randomly afterwards. But yeah, you definitely don't need the Xayah R of the Morgana.
Yeah, she was like up in her animation and she had the black shield on.
I guess that's just Hampton not being playing with Morgana that much because it's banned just so often. Yeah, Shen finally finished the Tiamat, so he can finally kind of split against this Aatrox that has Death's Dance.
Yeah, so the next dragon's spawning in 30 seconds, and no one's really walking towards it yet, but this would be Cloud Soul. Granted, it is Cloud Drake. It's not the greatest. Maybe, as THG, you're like willing to let them have it so that you can then play for Elder Dragon.
Maybe.
It's
I think it's still very beneficial on THE, like to have the 10% cooldown reduction on your R. But
it's not the end of the world if they have to give it.
Yeah, Cloud Soul is definitely the weakest soul. I actually really like these lane assignments from THE. You have Padawan Tano in the top lane against Shen. Shen is pretty much sacking the wave so he could get an ulti off, because otherwise it's so easy for Padawan Tano to stop the Shen teleport or ulti, or for Lissandra to stop it. But yeah, and Lissandra has a teleport up so he can join this. And yeah, THE kind of needs to stand their ground because Deadpool Damage doing a really good job closing off that corridor and forcing it so that there's only one way that PTC can walk in. There is the blast plan up though, and it looks like they're just shoving mid. Both teams like don't really care to like start this, but they want it to happen for the fight.
Yeah, they want the other team to start it so that they can then get it as decent engage.
Like, Aatrox isn't even here like right now. He's coming in now.
And here comes the Lissandra TPing in as well.
Yeah, he's just looking for a Shen ulti.
THE just looking to break the dragon.
Oh, good ulti from Padawan, or Zornius from Padawan Tano. And Aatrox is super huge in this fight. Padawan Tano dies, but yeah, Aatrox is getting so many resets. Caitlin's doing pretty well with the Caitlyn traps, getting 3 crits off. And now, yeah, THE gets the dragon, so there's no soul, but and Alex didn't even get any kills. There was a 4 for 2 though. Lost the dragon. There was a mid tower, so definitely favored for PTC. But yeah, that was a lot of solid damage.
Yeah, so the Caitlyn pick into this team is actually kind of insane. You have both Morgana and Lissandra who are going into these like Zhonya's animations. Like, and you just see them putting down these traps right as they're Zhonyazing, so that when they come back up, they just get this huge headshot damage.
Yeah, that's super high value from the Caitlyn pick. Maybe Alex just killed Deadpool Gambit. Deadpool Gambit doesn't have
no, but here comes the rest of THE.
Interesting flash from Mega Man Zero. I know what he's trying to do. You are so that the stun is like free. And but Aatrox is just too mobile, too fast. Even if he does get stunned, Aatrox does have the Merc treads, and like the ulti from Mega Man Zero didn't do that much. So
yeah, so they might be looking to rush this Baron because they know that they stopped the Caitlyn recall. But it looks like they're just going to try and set up the vision here.
I was gonna say if they could somehow get that blue buff, that'd be insanely good because Mega Man Zero is on no mana. But
and so even though PTC did win the team fight at the Dragon, THE did get the clutch smite, so they do not have the soul.
Yeah, 100%. Like champions like Alistair would be really good with the soul. Gragas is kind of whatever. Syndra's kind of whatever. Like she already has phase rush. Shen doesn't really like it. He ults, and then by the time he gets to the fight, then Cloud Soul Fast has already gone off him. But same thing with Caitlyn. It's more like, honestly, this Cloud Soul for PTC is really good on the very off chance that THE gets Cloud Soul. Like, you want to deny as many Cloud Dragons from THE as possible, and THE has a really sick Cloud Soul comp with Volibear, Aatrox, and Morgana. That's why, like, Morgana is, like, she's obviously good, but her ulti is not the best because it's easy to, like, dash or walk away from it. But if Morgana gets Cloud Soul, if it's, like, a super long game, just ultis, runs at them, so they're 100% getting stunned. And then with the Zhonyas, then it's
and so now that we're like 30 minutes into the game, we finally see the Tiamat and the Jerome's Fist finally coming out for the Shen, finally building that like wave clear that he's been needed.
Yeah, Black Shield coming in a little bit later, but it doesn't really matter. It wasn't.
Yeah, the ult didn't actually go far enough and actually just knocked the AD carry away farther. Maybe he was just trying to bait out the ult. Yeah. But with the Xayah still having ult, she's just still so safe that it's really hard to engage onto her.
Yeah, like Caitlyn's got to be like very far ahead, being up like 40 CS and up 3 kills, even though down a couple assists, I guess. But Aatrox now is up 100 CS almost, and so
yeah,
this top lane gap is
almost like 3,000 gold.
no big deal.
Yep, because he took
down.
almost the whole top turret by himself, and he just took this bot turret. So not only is he almost 100 CS up, but he's also 2 towers up.
Yeah. Yeah, this is so much damage.
And I'm interested to see what he's building next with the longsword. Wonder if it's like a Bork? I don't know.
It could be for the split push. I'm trying to think what else would it be in Aatrox's like kit that was like super good for him. Maybe like Sterix Cage?
Sterix? Yeah.
He already has 30% cooldown. And cooldown's like pretty good on Aatrox.
Yeah, it's most likely Sterix. I just couldn't think of that for some reason. Does he have it completed right now?
Drums. GA.
Oh, right. We were all wrong.
No, he straight up bought a GA, so he still has the longsword.
We were all wrong. We'll get the Sterix next time, boys.
Yeah, otherwise, yeah, Dragon's coming up. You see a good item spike from
yes, but
Mega Man?
actually no.
Cinder does finish the Void Staff, so that'll be good against the Aatrox and
THE is always the first one that gets to these objectives, and they get to set it up.
Oh,
and they're trying to burst it down. And with how far away that the Gragas is, it's a guaranteed smite for
and now
Solo
they're just
Mason.
setting up the Alistair, and Alistair has a flash away. You don't need to do anything else. If they got what they wanted, they got another Cloud. So, like, cooldowns on Aatrox are, and all the other ultimates are extremely short now that THE has double Cloud Dragon.
PTC is trying to get this tower down before everyone rotates over, but
yeah, they also have some pretty decent wave clear.
Here comes the fight.
This is a really interesting engage. It doesn't look like they got as far as they wanted to, but Alex is doing a lot of work with there. Caitlin's putting in a lot of work. The Caitlyn, the Borg Binding coming on the Deadpool Gambit. Shinra is coming in onto Caitlyn. And the Lost Storyteller and Padawan Tano going down for 4 big lots, but
Padawan not getting his ult or his Zonias off in this fight. Really swung it over to PTC's side.
Yeah, I wish we could see that again. I don't think our replay system is working out too well after the ARAM thing last week, but I guess maybe he got chain CC'd into death, and that's like an issue that Lissandra can have, is if you're trying to get a lot of value out of like the Zonias or the ulti, then you could just get chain CC'd and then one shot. So,
and this Caitlyn sitting at 3.5 items is really starting to hurt.
Yeah, execution is now done. Still only got brown bags, but you don't need them. Got Merc Treads now, so I really like that. That's a really solid buy from Deadpool Gambit.
But a really important thing to notice also is the Caitlyn had to waste her flash after the Volibear flashed onto her.
Yeah, so
if they can, so if they can hop onto this Caitlyn this next time, it could really turn the fight, because without that Caitlyn damage, there really is no way for them to get through the Volibear or the Aatrox.
Honestly, I would really just like to see for next fight, just like Morgana Black Shield. Like, she's level 12 right now, I believe. So level 13, she should have Black Shield max. It's like most Morgana's max shield second. And just throw it on the Aatrox and let him run in, or throw it on the Volibear and let him run in. And you can't stop it. You can't stop with Body Slam or the Scatter the Weak.
You just gotta, if they can get onto this Caitlyn, it'll make these fights so much easier. And they really tried. They had the Volibear flank from behind, flash onto the Caitlyn. You had the Aatrox coming in, but like the Shen was able to hold on to his ult for so long.
Yeah.
That by the end of the fight, they still had it, so they couldn't kill the Caitlyn.
Not gonna lie, because the gold is like dead even right now, and the fights have been like very close either way, I wonder if it's even a good idea to like take the inhib like at this point in time, because Zaya's been free farming this entire time, and she's catching back up in CS and gold. Like what used to be like a huge CS deficit in the 80 carry position, she's now only down 17, while Alex is up over 100. So
Yeah, when this inhib is down, they really need to try and force this Baron, and be able to start really getting this inhib to do some work for them, so that they could split somewhere else and have the inhib be applying pressure for you.
Yeah, that's an issue with the PTC. Like, yeah, you need to start the Baron because you're not winning the bot side trades with Alex up 100 CS, and yeah, you have the mid pressure, but Zaya's been at the middle of the wave or middle of the map or the lane just farming it. So yeah, you just need to start the Baron and force the fight, force Aatrox out of the bot lane, and because all of a sudden, like, it's probably gonna come up in like 2 minutes or so, and getting the inhib did nothing but give Hampton all of this free farm.
The thing though is, like, the Aatrox doesn't really. He's not going to be winning these fights as hard anymore because now the Shen does have the damage and has so much armor that it's really hard for Aatrox to actually kill him. Where there's really no advantage anymore in that lane, where it's just going to be even and they're just going to be wave clearing the lanes back and forth. It's kind of like a tank v tank, where it's like Shen's not going to be able to kill the Aatrox. He doesn't have the damage, but like Aatrox also can't kill the Shen.
Yeah, Volibear normally does physical damage, right? Because I'm honestly confused why Shen even built MR in the first place. Like, Lissandra's only been ulting herself and like hasn't been doing a whole lot this game. I would have rather see Shen just keep going for yeah, and the Black Shield's already burned, and then Shen ulti's onto the Aatrox. Cody pretty much, or Solar Mason pretty much dies on the Volibear right away. Alex is gonna get the pullback, and then
yeah, trading.
You can finish off the Alistair, but
yeah, Cody really, or Solo Mason really going for the Caitlyn, but there's no follow-up damage.
Yeah, Zaya was back, I guess, like wasn't in the fight, and yeah, like Aatrox was there, but Padawan Tano wasn't there, Legit Camel wasn't there, and all of a sudden you have what, 30 seconds dead timer for Solo Mason, and yeah, maybe they can go for this Baron, but I'm pretty sure all the minions would.
I don't think Alex wants to take this fight here. He's already really low, and this close to the turret, there's like no way he actually gets this.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he should just be.
And now we have Mega Man Zero coming down to like try and catch out this Aatrox.
Yeah, he's just basic right now. Alex is in a terrible spot. Maybe they can go Baron while they're trying to chase off this Aatrox. Oh, does he? Oh, he does bring the Guardian Angel. Oh my goodness. And wow, this is huge.
Alex getting caught out.
That was a 700 gold bounty that just went on Mega Man Zero Syndra. Oh, he is going to be extremely far ahead now because he has. Yeah, looks like the Zonias is finished on the Syndra,
and he has
PTC
not going for Baron right now. It looks like they're going for the inhib instead, even though last time they got this inhib and then really got nothing off of it.
Yeah, like it's fine in general to get the inhib as long as you're utilizing the pressure that it gives you, and like mid inhib is like it's fine. We have the dragon in 4 minutes, so the inhib will be dead for the Elder Dragon fight. But yeah, getting rid of the Guardian Angel onto on Alex was extremely crucial. Oh, and Syndra has a spell back here. So that definitely helps with the speed as well. It's pretty solid damage item. But yeah, having the 10 stacks on Magi's right now, Mega Man Zero is feeling really, really good. He's in a really good spot.
Finding a good knockup with Alistar, but there's no follow-up damage.
Oh, Padawan Tano gets one shot again. He does ulti he gets his ulti off, but he doesn't get his Zonias off. And this Aatrox isn't really able to do anything. Now Storyteller is also come out. But that's a huge blade caller from Zaya. And they get 2 trade kills. Yeah, that was pretty bold from Jig and Jag. And nice ulti E from.
So what was a one team fight all of a sudden becomes another even fight yet again. This game's going back and forth so many times.
Yeah, this is crazy. Like, you actually have the gold as dead even, 62,000, 62,000.
And it's bed dead even this whole game.
Yeah. Caitlyn has a 700 gold bounty, so if somehow that can go on to Zaya or Lissandra. But yeah, that was an incredibly good explosive cast from Gragas. Came in, threw it right as Lissandra came in with the claw, and she got knocked up and instantly got one shot. Couldn't she did get the ulti off to ulti someone that wasn't herself.
Yeah, I think she meant to ult herself, but must have just misclicked and had. I don't know who it was that she ulted, but
yeah, it's not the easiest unless you have what Tommy told me to do, which is just if you don't like, if there's like a bunch of people, you just go down to like your character at the bottom and go to that phase and ulti yourself.
Or you can also, I think it's Alt R is also self cast. There's another way you could do it.
I don't ever click the ult button though. Yeah, Alt R is pretty good. So, yeah, Caitlyn's on 4 items done and the QSS. So she is living really well, besides not having
And here we see PTC starting the Baron. TG doesn't really know, and
interesting how that get off. What happened there with legit Camel? Like, loses flash heal and R.
Yeah, he got hit by the
nothing.
Yeah, he got hit by a stun from the Syndra.
But like, did he just like not see the Syndra stun? That's not. I'm sure how that happened, but I guess he lived, which is the most important thing.
Just,
his ulti
I don't know why PTC got off the Baron. They literally just burned all of the AD carry sums in their ult, and then
they didn't do anything with it.
They didn't do. And I guess now they're going back to it.
But Zaya has ulti in probably like 30 seconds or so, and they're wave clearing again. It's just another situation where they got the inhib and they're not doing anything with the pressure. Like, they're doing something with it now, but they have vision of it. So, I mean, Aatrox and Shen. Oh, Aatrox doesn't even have a global right now. Aatrox has to walk to this Baron, and they're still off it. I mean, Aatrox was getting close, but you have the map pressure with Shen right now, because for some reason, it must have been when Hampton, legit Camel almost died, that Alex needed to burn teleport, and like felt like something was gonna happen. But that is huge that Alex does not have TP right now, and Megan Foxy has TP and a Shannar.
I mean, even if the Gragas can't tank the Baron, can't you just have the Alistar do it?
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden we have THG being the first one to the Dragon, and they have a pink ward on the pit.
Yeah, and like, I don't think there's no super minions mid, so there's nothing really happening right there. You need to get the Shen to come down here. THG just needs to start this, and you need to get Shen to fight.
A huge stun from the Syndra.
But now Alex is all by himself. The Shen is into ulti, but I think he ulted the Alistar. Aatrox is extremely dangerously low, but does have the Guardian Angel. A huge taunt from Shen.
Gets
and
Lissandra
dies. Good trade from legit Camel though. But yeah, this is just putting in a lot of work. And yeah, now they're gonna have. It is 1 for 3. They are gonna get the Elder. Maybe they can end it right here. The inhib is gonna be spawning soon, so they need to kill that again.
We got Cody trying for a steal, but
oh, he's just gonna, yeah, he dies to the Elder buff right as it falls. That's super unlucky.
And I'm pretty sure they can push
Cody's
for the end right here.
Yeah, with Cody's death, they could definitely end. Like, Storyteller might have been up and alive in time, but everyone based. Like, Syndra's in base right now. She does have teleport. There's 2 people here because Alistar is still dead, and Shen still has globals. So maybe they still are looking to end?
No, I think they're just going to rotate back to Baron now. Now they're probably fully confident, like, oh, we have
really
this Dragon Soul now, or we have the Elder buff. They can't actually fight us now.
I really feel that, like, with the Elder, you end the game right then and there, especially because Cody died. You didn't have, like, you had the pressure with, like, 1 wave, and you have the Elder buff. But this is wasting like a little bit of time on Elder. And they'll still have it for like another minute and a half from like this point probably.
Yeah, but they should still have plenty of time now to just group mid and get the towers. Even though they're all up, they've been winning every fight consistently now, and they have the Elder now.
Yeah, at this point it does really look like that PTC has outscaled THE. But yeah, I mean Padawan Tano I don't think has gotten his Zonias off in like the last like 3 or 4 fights. So he needs to like, and that's a little bit of the issue with like going the electrocute is because you can't frontline the same way that Aftershock does. So we have what 45 seconds left on the Elder Dragon. That is true. Yeah, Zonias is extremely difficult to play into the Caitlyn. 30 seconds left on the Elder buff. That should be nice blade caller. I was gonna say definitely don't take that claw, but that's a good threatening claw. And Mega Man Zero is looking to base and potentially TP bait back. And yeah, he is. He's TPing back to him and try to get this tower down.
And it's so hard to engage on the Caitlyn here with all this trap that she has set up.
Yeah, but it's another good blade caller. Oh my god, and he just dies one shot to the... Yeah, because the Elder Dragon is now finally gone. But it doesn't even matter anymore. The Storyteller dies. He's the ulti to come in. And Shen is gonna ulti.
Yeah, and Caitlyn now has QSS, so even with the Flash ultimate, she can just QSS out, and it's just there's no way to kill this Caitlyn. They don't even use the Shen ult on the Caitlyn anymore. They're just using it on the Alistar to get the Shen in.
Yeah, more frontline. And what a crazy game. It was super intense from both sides for a very long time. Yeah.
Probably one of the closest games we've ever seen. 62,000 gold each at like 35 minutes.
Yeah.
The gold staying even the whole time.
Yeah, but that is some crazy damage numbers from PTC. Yeah, Caitlyn put in a lot of work this game. That was probably the best Caitlyn performance you've seen all split. I mean, Vindy did get a pentakill at one time, so that was pretty crazy. But yeah, utilize all the traps really well, and yeah, solid performance.
I think with that though, TG is officially cannot make playoffs.
Because if they won the series, it could have been a 3-way tie in a very specific scenario. But now you have EGL is 2-1 with all of their matches yet to play, and PTC is 2-3. So PTC still looking pretty strong. If they can take the win off of EGL, then it's a really spicy
It'd be a
tie for a second.
They'd both be 3-3. So
yeah.
Next week is THE versus EGL. That should be
that'll be really close based on what we see right here.
Yep. And if THE actually upsets EGL, it would then mean there's no long if PTC then won against EGL, and then we won against EGL, it wouldn't even be a tiebreaker anymore.
True. Yeah, there is still a scenario which PTC just gets second place. It's a really close fight for that second place spot. These last 3 weeks will be really intense.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Tune in next week, guys. Tentatively 2 p.m., but we'll update the time as the players see fit. So cool. Thanks for watching.
Yep.